My name is Chris Claremont. You're watching Omni X-Men.
Hi, I'm Bob McLeod, and you're watching Omni X-Men.
You're watching X-Men Omni with Justin and John. And their good friend, Hank.
Hell yeah. Yes, friends, welcome back. Magneto reigns supreme. He was right, and now he is here. You are here. Welcome into the trial of Magneto. Tonight is the night. You're here for the trial of the century, the trial of all time here on Omni X-Men. This is the series where me and my man have been going through issue by issue of Claremont's run of Uncanny X-Men and the New Mutants. We are now here. We've finally gotten to issue 200. Gang, from giant size to 200, it has been a roller coaster ride, and we're about to take another dip. By we, I mean me and this guy.
What's going on, bub? Bub.
Someone needs to throw you. We need a cannonball.
Yeah.
How you doing, man?
Good, man. Good. I got the Omni Bible here. I am pumped. I did want to highlight. I couldn't find my issue. I know I have issue 200, but I did want to say I do have the sleeve from the Omni, because I know there's a few options for that.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Iconic cover, which I know we'll talk about in a little bit.
Oh yeah.
I'm pumped for tonight, man. It's been, look, we're coming off of a 10 out of 10, issue, which is like one. It's tough to like follow that kind of thing. So well, I'm curious to see where, how the chat feels and everybody. But yeah, we've been hitting all these, big issues, extra long issues. So we'll see how you handle this.
And next week, when we're back over on Justin's channel 201, they're kind of the linchpin for this era and this volume. It's kind of an exciting time. As a reminder, Justin's link is down below, and we're on his channel next week. So you can hit that like button, and then we'll be over there with JP next week. So don't miss out on that. But there's a lot of links down below, including the Frame Brothers, who are the artist of this season. And we've got an original piece from them, a sketch cover colored and sketched by them that we'll give away as part of the June giveaway that we always do when we end a season of this series. And you can get on the wheel and win some of those prizes by answering questions at the end of the show tonight. So definitely hang around. Don't go anywhere, and definitely click those links while we're saying good evening to you all.
That's right.
One of the links, or two of the links, you'll find down there, Instagram and YouTube, for our guest for tonight. This gentleman, he's been doing it all. He's been bringing people onto the YouTube side, doing those great live streams, talking about the books that people have been reading, hacking it up, talking about the movies. Like I've joined him for movies before. And then over there on the Instagram side, he's your guy for posts on Friday with your figgies, or for Saturday with your sets. This is the man for all of that stuff. I'm talking about the one collection down himself, Mr. Fable.
Station, guys, what's going on? I forgot to wear my Sir James Jasper's was right shirt tonight.
That guy's never right.
F that guy.
Yeah.
Thanks
That'd
for
be
having
hilarious.
me on. I love jumping on this thing with you guys. I don't know how many episodes we've done together so far, but it's always a good time. And 200, holy crap, dude! You guys got up to 200 already. That's amazing.
That's crazy, right?
Time flies.
Started at giant size in 94, and now we're here 200, and that included a whole
All New Mutants,
Mutants, and all these annuals and things. It's wild.
That's fantastic, man. That is awesome.
Well, I thank you, man, for being willing to come back and join us again and again and again. And of course, I thank you for choosing such a phenomenal issue. I'm very, very excited to hash this up. Of course, last year, X-Men 97 did their version of this issue. So some people who may have never read it saw Magneto in space, throwing people around, doing crazy stuff, giving us big speeches. So I'm kind of excited. Yeah, right. I'm kind of excited for those in the chat that maybe never read the issue until recently, or never read it at all and only saw that episode to kind of get into a little bit of this stuff.
That's me. I'm one of those people.
There you go. Well, let's go back and say hi to the chat. We got the first tailgater is this guy doing double duty. What's going on? The no good is in the chat, throwing that blue wrench around. You better watch out. We got my man Matt. What's going on, Matt? Matt, you'll be happy to know. Hopefully, in the next couple of weeks here, the Avengers versus Justice League will be back. I know that's how you found my channel. Me and my man Magic Lasso.
Nice.
The reason it's not happening this week is because I got a work event, and on Friday he's doing his 1,000 subscriber giveaway party.
Yeah,
and
Lasso.
so we're over there on his channel. He's giving away a beautiful Wonder Woman 9/6 slab. He's giving away a She-Hulk, Savage She-Hulk omnibus. He's giving away all kinds of stuff over on his channel. And then I'm giving away 3 prizes as well. So that took up this week, but hopefully in the next week and a half, you will get your wish. Adam makes stuff up. What's going on? Adam, he says, taping the screen at the clock in the corner. Oh, he's tapping the screen. Yeah, I get it. My man Matt is in the chat. What's going on, Matt from Impressed?
What's up, Matt?
And there he is, the Lasso himself. What is going on, Lasso? You guys, he has a video on his channel. I think it's one video back. That is the prize video. You got to leave a specific kind of comment on that video if you want to be on the big wheel. So hit that name there in the chat and go over and check it out.
Yep.
I didn't say anything about Diana Ross and the Supremes. Not yet. Jackson Roy Kirk, always so great to see you, sir.
Roy Kirk.
We got the Black Order Comic Club in the chat. What is going on? I was just over in Paul in the 619's chat. He's doing his Tuesday night and his amazing friends. I know he's one of those Black Order homies.
Nice.
We got Candace Barbosa in the chat. What is going on, Candace? Always so wonderful to see you, friend. Let's see here. Oh, people are freezing. Is it cold? That's cold. Cold.
Oh, yeah.
Cold.
Oh, it's freezing here. She's in Chicago. Yeah. It's brutal.
We got our man Stu from Dr. Doom's fan club. What's going on, Stu?
What's up, Stu?
He's got a video with he and I think dropping in the next week here where we rehashed House and Powers of X. It was so much fun.
I'm glad you guys did that.
Got all the feels back. He said, pick a single comic you want to talk about. And I was like, what about when Moira becomes a mutant? Let's do that.
Hell yeah.
So
Hell yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that edit for sure. You don't have to comment Wonder Woman. You have to comment, I believe, something you're hoping to get in the new year, but you'd have to watch the video to remind. I'm trying to remember what it was. So sorry. Pass Point, what's going on, homie? He's another one of my San Diego homies. He says, watching the show and eating tacos.
Nice.
That sounds
Taco
like
Tuesday.
Evening. I like that. Station to our man Bobby, who was the guest last week.
Bobby,
we're over on Justin's channel reading annual number 9, Uncanny Annual number 9. Appreciate you coming back around, homie. Magneto was right. Professor X is a jerk, and Scott is the worst.
I'm throwing it all out there.
He's got, you know what? Save some of that energy, JP, because you got to have it for next week when you're over on the channel. Just so everybody knows, peeking behind the screen, 2 years ago, JP's like, I'm doing issue 201. I don't care what issues you stick me with in the interim seasons. I'm doing issue 201.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, Bobby gets to pick first. Bobby picks first. And then he didn't pick 201, thank goodness. So JP has been bottling this energy for next week. He's been holding it all. So, very excited. I'll be checking out that video. Been too busy Hey, we're all busy. Totally understand. But hey, you want to win some prizes, you want to leave a comment and then be there Friday night in the live stream.
Yep.
All right. Enough hyping people, enough bringing everything together. We are here to talk about Uncanny X-Men. Stick around to the end. We're going to dive right into this issue 200 because it's a giant double-sized issue. I'm going to bring in the slideshow here because this cover is a classic. You've seen it on walls all around the country whenever you're in a shop. This is from December 1985. John Romita Jr. on art, Chris Claremont on writing. I got to know, Justin, what are your thoughts on this cover?
Yeah, man. This is definitely one of his better pieces of work from this time. I know I've been feeling very roller coaster with JR in this run and just in general with this era. And his covers have been very much hit or miss, very much more miss, I feel like, than hit over these last few issues, but or last few year and a half, I guess. But But I mean, this is a great one, and I think it helps the fact that I think it's very iconic. It's something I recognized even from not knowing what this was about or anything. I just knew this was a significant issue.
Right.
People have always kind of talked about it. I've always seen it in back issue bins and even on walls and everything else. So it definitely has its recognition there. I think it's as far as the design goes, you got this diesel Magneto just standing there, but he's all cuffed up, and I mean, certainly I'd be curious as to what is going on here, especially knowing his abilities. He could easily break those chains if he really wanted to. But yeah, so I think just that alone, the stance and everything, is what really gets me for this cover. The behind the scenes stuff, a little noisy, but I think it still works. It's like, it's very quiet in the center with everything else kind of going on in the background. I didn't know, until I read this, I didn't know who the two were on the left. So that was like, just kind of curious who those people were.
Sure.
But I think it's very accurate to, going into this issue and knowing what happens in it. So overall, yeah, I really like this issue or this cover.
JP says, wait, I thought it was in 2 weeks. He's right. I'm sorry. I forgot. We're off next week. It's 2 weeks that we're back on Justin's channel for 201. So there is an off week this coming week.
Yeah, good call.
Adam says, does Magneto's head look disproportionately smaller on this cover? I mean, maybe it's because of how badass he's flexing here.
Maybe.
He may be old, but he ain't shriveled yet. And this guy's dressed for court. I mean, that's how you do it, right? That's how you dress for your day in court. I'm curious, Fable, what your thoughts are on this costume, this look for him, and why are they putting metal cuffs on our man here? Who's thinking this thing through?
This shit flew over my head. I gotta admit, I thought about it until you said something. And thank you, Justin, for taking a lot of nervous energy off my back, because I didn't know if I was the only one who didn't like JR's art too much.
Oh yeah, no.
Very divisive. Very divisive.
I have not been a fan.
It's not just you, buddy.
Yeah. But yeah, a lot like Justin said, this is an iconic cover. Regardless of your thoughts on JR, definitely I mean, I don't remember the first time he put on this M costume. I don't remember when it was the first time. This is like my introduction to this costume in a lot of ways when I was young. And even when I was young, I was like, okay, that's a choice. Big
it's a choice.
A little different.
Yeah. He's got the side boob on and the open armpits on the side there. That's a look, right?
Yeah, definitely something that definitely something that will pass today with absolute Batman going on, right? Like,
yeah, big time.
Disproportions and everything.
Yes. Yeah, the M is a boomerang that he throws.
But yeah, I agree. This is one of the ones. When you think of all the classic Uncanny X-Men covers, this has definitely got to go on one of the lists for sure. Yeah. Whether it's towards the top or towards the bottom, either way, this is one of those iconic covers. So I dig it, man. I love it. I think it definitely is an intriguing cover for sure. Like, you want to know what happens to Magneto. He's on trial. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Jackson says that costume is brought to you by Kitty Pryde.
Boom! There it is.
Lasso thought, "Oh, look, it's Carol Danvers on the cover." He was a little disappointed, but he shouldn't be, because she's in the book, brother. She's in the book. Just because she's not wearing the little lightning bolt costume, she's in the book. She's there. Brother Joe, station to you, my friend. Good to see you in the chat, my man. I hope things are going well. Looks like Magneto from the Absolute Batman universe. There it is. He's jacked up on that venom.
That's right.
There he is. Those are 3D printed plastic chains. Makes way more sense. That shiny metal. I'm with you guys. I like the idea that it's this like chaos in the background and then this stoic guy in the center there. I don't care about the proportions. Magneto has always been a swoldier. He is just shredded. The costume is quite ridiculous, and it's worse in the issue when you see the shoulder pads that are way up there for those 80s looks. But yeah, this was my early Magneto appearances that I saw. Of course, the helmet and then this costume were kind of the early days of me knowing this character, and so I'm here for it. I love a good character in purple, I'm all about it. So let's keep that trend going, I guess. All right, let's dive right into the first splash page and comment here. We've got Magneto. He's cuffed. He's being marched down. He is on his way to his trial for crimes against humanity, and they decide to give us a little flashback. Who is this guy? Do we know anything about Magneto? Why is he being put into the size of a baby with this giant bald-headed guy standing over him? What does any of this mean? Well, let's travel back in time, gang. This all has to do with the Defenders issues 50. Look, gang, look, they're gonna get into it. It's important that you know. I have never read Defenders 15 and 16. You don't need to read Defenders 15 and 16. But if you want to know how a weird egghead guy made Magneto into a baby, this is where you read that book. Yes, it happened. Yes, this is why we needed Chris Claremont. We needed somebody to clean this mess up. Claremont waited almost 3 years between this book and when see that far book over there is the one you want to get, 104. That's when he first wrote the character of Magneto. Claremont giving him a different kind of take, a different voice, bringing him back to his power. So there you go. If you're curious why they're showing you Magneto as a baby with the helmet still on him and this big guy with this crazy head in a loincloth, blame Len Wein right here in issues 15 and 16 of the Defenders. That's where you're going.
It's great.
That's where I just wanted to point that out. But yeah, let's get back to what we're doing here. That is, if you look underneath the loincloth there, below the loincloth, that is a little baby Magneto with his helmet and cloak on. Yes. A villain named Alpha Mutant transformed Magneto and actually several members of the Brotherhood of Mutants into babies. And it kind of was a pivotal moment because the character was really struggling to find relevance at this point. And here we are now, Claremont having kind of restructured, reframed, and given us some key backstory issues, like the flashbacks to first meeting Xavier and some of those plot lines that we've already gotten in the last couple of seasons. These are the things that are important because Magneto is standing trial for all of his crimes. All of the things he's done in the past are about to be coming back to haunt him in some way. So they give us this little flashback here to kind of throw us back into his life a little bit. Justin, any thoughts here on... I'm very curious because they've briefly only, like in scattered moments, mentioned he was turned into a baby. Like, I just don't know how you're like feeling about this. If you're like, I really don't know if I want to read that book.
Yeah. So I don't remember how I kind of heard about that in the past or knew. I was somewhat aware that had happened in just an earlier time. And I didn't know it was Len Wein or what. I didn't even realize it was in Defenders, but I just knew that was.
Yeah, well, it's not an Uncanny issue.
Right.
It was not
even
an X-Men comic.
Yeah.
It happened outside of that, although Xavier and several others are in it.
Yeah,
it's mainly a Defenders book, obviously.
Yeah. So I think that Claremont did a nice job of not going too in depth with this as a reader who is not as familiar with that story. I think that's all anybody needed as far as just a high level. Hey, yeah, here's what happened. Just go with it. You'll understand later. Like kind of thing.
Will we?
I did want to point out, so I love the splash page here. This is a beautiful work. Love the lighting. You see the fire to the top right hand and the way the lighting's kind of coming down on the left side of his face there is just really, really well done. Even the guys behind him with their aviators on. But just like the perspective, the hallway, I just think it sets the tone, coming off of technically 199. If you were reading it, back to back, you knew exactly kind of where you're at now. So great intro. And like I said, I think he did a good enough job, Claremont, of just giving us the, quick, here's the 1-2. It didn't need to be more than a page. And technically, I mean, as we know, he could have gone 3 pages, 4 pages with a little more background of Magneto, or stretched a lot more of this. So I do appreciate that he condensed it all down to 1 page. So
yeah, that's definitely fair. What's up? Chet is in the chat. What's going on, Chet? Knight?
Yo, what's up, Chet?
Ryan will be giving us a review of the Defenders issues here in a moment in the chat. We expect nothing less.
Yes, Friday.
He is cute when he's sleeping. He is an adorable little baby. Yes,
Yeah.
the Magneto baby. Len Wein channeling Steve Gerber. All right. Good to know. JP says, I had no recollection of this. I clearly blocked baby Magneto from my memory. There's good reason for that. I think at the time X-Men was just reprints. X-Men and villains showed up elsewhere. Yes, I think this was sort of 73, I believe, is when I checked the date on those Defenders issues. And then 77 was when Magneto was brought back by Claremont in issue 104. So it was about a 3-year gap there. Matt says, couldn't they have played out the extreme Benjamin Button version? Get our Benjamin Button Magneto. All right, Fable, how about you? What are your thoughts on the history of Magneto we get here, this opening panel and the setup?
Oh, yeah. It took me by surprise, too. I was like, when did this happen? I would have never guessed it was a Defenders issue from 1973.
Well, then I feel better about sharing that. I feel better about sharing it.
Yeah, this is 1985, right? This issue comes out?
Yeah, this issue, yeah.
Oh, and it's funny that you say Len Wein, because didn't Len Wein, didn't he bring back the X-Men with Giant Size?
He wrote Giant Size,
right?
Yes, he did.
So you know why Claremont took over after that, right? Because of that. They didn't want him doing a baby disaster.
Yeah.
This is a clear example of why I love Chris Claremont. He always does this kind of like recap of these heroes or their powers or where they come from, or he always does this, and this is great for readers who are just coming on. You know, like Justin said, you don't have to give too much information, just what you need to know to move forward in the story. And I love this kind of thing. Ann Nocenti should have given us one of those little boxes that says Defenders number 15.
Yeah, you're right. I'm surprised they didn't say that.
Right. They don't want you to go and read them. That's why.
Yeah.
They don't need people hunting these things down.
Yeah, no, I dig the splash page. Baby Magneto still has gray hair, which is funny. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah,
good call.
He was always that way.
But yeah, no. I this is why I love Chris Claremont and the way he does things. He always does these little recaps, and it's much needed. I don't know who said it in comic books. Somebody said it. Write each story like it's everybody's first issue, right?
Yeah.
This is definitely an example of that. That you know, I know it might be a little crazy to talk about Cyclops' powers and where he comes from every time you show him on the first page, but
sure,
it helps.
Yeah.
So I love this intro for sure.
Yeah, every book is somebody's first comic, right? Every comic is somebody's first, for sure. Adam says he hears the Mario, like, you know, when he grows up, you hear that Mario sound effect.
Oh yeah.
Like he hit a mushroom and he got bigger. I get it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Magneto. Chet says the Defenders run is really great from 1 to 70 in spurts. I said except for 15 and 16. JP, I don't think did the reading before tonight because he says, I mean, does the fact that he once turned into a baby have anything to do with the crimes he committed or was on trial for? Couldn't he just pretend it never happened?
Yeah.
I think you may have read ahead or have hypothesized, my good sir. But let's keep going. Yeah, I totally agree with you guys. Love the spread page here, and the quick catch up is great. But I'm glad I shared those issues because I couldn't remember how that hell happened either. We jump to Paris, Gay Paris. This is where the tribunal is happening. It's not happening in The Hague like where they usually do in the Netherlands, the war crime tribunals. In this case, it's in Paris. There's a whole slew of judges from across the globe who are coming to do this job of determining the guilt or innocence of Magneto. We have a prosecutor from England named Sir James Jaspers, and we have a defense counsel, which includes Charles Xavier as an expert, but is being run by Gabrielle Haller. This is Legion's mom. So for those of you that did not remember, David Haller, we met in New Mutants. That's his mom. So that is basically the parents of Legion here on the page. And she is lighting it up. She is smoking like nobody's business. This is a stressful job that she's got. Hey, you're defending Magneto for war crimes.
I was saying it is pretty stressful.
I get that's a stressful game.
And you got a mob right outside ready to kill you.
Yeah, correct. They're dealing with an angry mob throwing things, shouting things, holding signs.
Yeah.
And they're all just kind of discussing like, what is this trial going to mean? You know, what are the repercussions of this? And then we jump to the Mediterranean. This giant yacht cruise ship is rolling along, and we see the Fenris twins, although they haven't technically been called that yet. We have the Andrea and Andreas, who we had met when they shot Storm. So they got things to answer for. But here they are enjoying that luxury on a boat and seemingly sharing a bed. Super awkward stuff going on here, gang. Just really uncomfortable relationship here. Fable, what are your thoughts on these twins? How on a scale of like Game of Thrones to Star Wars, where do these siblings fit for you?
I mean, I guess they're more Game of Thrones than Star Wars. When I saw the girl, I was like, damn, she's kind of hot. And it was like, oh, that's her brother? Holy smokes.
Exactly.
That was my first thought. And also I like how you can tell right off the bat that Sir James Jaspers is the guy you're gonna freaking hate. Like immediately. So shout out to JRJR. He put that feeling across.
Yep.
So that's a point for him for sure.
Yeah. Legion's mom has got it going on, and she's got that lung cancer probably too, but we'll deal with that. Maybe they're not Lannister, they're more Gladiator siblings. I get it.
No, they're definitely Lannister.
Justin, and Justin says Lannister. Okay.
I love you. Thoughts? Yeah, these gifts are spot on. First of all, yeah, man. I turned this page and I was like, as like once I saw him in the robe, I'm like, wait, what's happening here?
Yeah.
Like,
only questions. Lots of
like he's hanging out in his sister's bed in a robe, drinking, and cheersing. I mean, like I'm glad that the scenes just ended there because I want to know where that was going after that. But I will say these two, again, you pointed out, John, that these were the people who had shot Storm. They clearly are fine just killing whoever they have to or shooting whoever they have to get what they want. I think Claremont did a great job of building these two up with how evil like they are, just bad people, you know. So at least from at this point and where we're at right now. So the other thing was, I'm glad you had brought up Haller, Gabby, because I do remember her from previous issues, and I'm sure we'll talk more about that later. But I thought that was cool that she was very much in charge of defending Magneto. I mean, this is a huge opportunity, position, however you want to describe it. I mean, so much is going on, and I'll tell you, the way I reading this, like just some of the, I guess technically they use like the radio voice guy as a way to describe like all the happenings right now.
There's all these news things happening.
I thought that it set the tone really well, and I think about like, any classic Batman book or anything like that where there's just like lots of like newscast stuff and like urgency and mobs and all this other stuff, and it got real serious for me. Like it got this is like, okay, this is heavy. There's no silliness to the level of what's going on here in this book. So I like that it kind of built that up right off the bat. And to Fable's point, this dude Jasper, just looking at him, man, he already just rubbed me the wrong way. So we knew we were in store.
It's always a bad look. Nobody
exactly.
The biggest twist Candace said is that they're related. That's the biggest plot twist that we've got going here.
Exactly.
Well, their powers are related to physical contact, so there's lots of physical contact.
This is true. This is true.
Well, we jump from there to one of the sort of open, beautiful park areas of Paris, and lights are flashing, bright lights and energy, and all of our friends, the New Mutants and the X-Men, come flooding back from where they've been in Asgard, right? Lots of drama from annual number 9, which we read last time, and the team has found their way home. Loki has brought them home, but not to the place where they live, Instead, they were brought to wherever Xavier is, because home is where the creepy bald guy is, and that's where they landed. But they quickly realized this isn't where we want to be. Plus, with this scantily clad lady flying a Pegasus, it's really just not a look. Like we don't need this kind of attention. And who knows what Logan's wearing at this point. So they decide to have Rachel kind of like do some little like crazy magic with her mental powers and basically create a vision of them sort of vanishing again. Because let's be fair, this is in the era of Secret Wars 2. Superheroes be vanishing, gang. Superheroes be vanishing and reappearing. This is common right now across Marvel. So poof, they vanished and they escape without people staring too much. Justin, any of your thoughts of our team visit to Francais?
Yeah, so I first of all love that we picked up right where we left off from last two issues technically, that epic read that we just came off of. A couple of things here. One, I laugh because the fact that Loki dropped them where they did. A part of me actually thinking that's actually kind of convenient for Loki to put him there in a way. I mean, like Cyclops is annoyed and he's like, "Oh, come on. Like really you just like we don't." And they make a good point. They're like, "We have no like paperwork on us, no IDs, like not like this is gonna be a pain in the butt to try to explain to the local authority or whatever." But then my man Doug, MVP Doug, comes into play, showing off his superpowers finally. Yeah, right when he was putting himself down and thinking he just had nothing going for him, we got my man Doug here, who's like, "Don't worry, folks, we will." Let me talk to the people. I got this. I just pictured Doug being like, "Hey, I got this. Let me.
Just get that man a beret."
Yes, yeah. He's like flirting with the girls, like I just picture him all these things.
Oh shit.
And then, I like that it actually notes in here that Rachel's ability when she disguises everyone, she tricks everyone to think that within hours, a fantastic rumor sweeps Paris that George Lucas is in town filming a new movie with absolutely spectacular special effects. And I love that they included, that, especially going on now in 1985. This is so, really, really cool details.
Fable, any thoughts here on the French? Do you have any feelings about the French?
You're really good at that, John.
Right? No, not much to add. I agree with all your sentiments. I didn't read the issue where they were with Loki and stuff. So but it's cool that Claremont brought them back just in time for this pivotal issue. And man, it might have been convenient, but it works for me. I did laugh that Doug was like, "Yeah, man, I get to use my powers." Something I'm good at. And I like Rachel's. I like their dependence on Rachel lately, because I read the issue before this, and this one, and I feel like she's a big part of this team, or at least helping out a whole lot. So
agreed,
totally. Our man Kenneth Bird is in the chat. What's going on, Kenneth? Good to see you, sir. And yes, Matt, I would buy that. Welcome, Matt. Home is where the creepy bald guy is. I have no answer for what Logan is wearing, but if you want the details, tune in last week to the episode we did with Justin on Justin's channel. Storm has her Thor wings. Yeah, she's still rocking that look. It's all good. If Loki did it just to piss off Cyclops, worth it. Fair. There you go. That's fair. He is a human Rosetta Stone. That's why we like Doug.
Very accurate.
Moving along, we jump to Poland a few days later, and on a Red Army base near the Baltic seaport of, I'm not going to try to pronounce it, a giant explosion occurs, and written on the wall it says "Free Magneto" from the X-Men, because we do know terrorists sign their destruction. It's very common. It's a very common way.
I'm glad you're highlighting this.
Yeah, just write it on the wall there. In the midst of it all, apparently Xavier lying in bed trying to calmly relax by doing the thing we all do when we want to calmly relax. We listen to the freaking news, because that's the source of your calm and tranquility, right? No, he has a near heart attack. He's suffering physically, mentally. He is really in a bad space ever since he was basically brained by bricks in New York. So he is still struggling with these mental and these physical problems. Cyclops comes in to talk to him, and he's like, "Look, I know you're not feeling great, but walk me through this Magneto choice. You're bringing your arch enemy into the mansion now. We're putting him up. We're giving a place to stay. Like, what? This seems like bad juju, Professor Xavier. And Xavier's like, just trust me. I understand you don't like him, but he's willing to put himself on trial for mutantdom. Like, let's see what happens. Let's give him a shot. And Cyclops is like, I'm out. Justin, any thoughts here? I go with Fable first. Sorry, Fable. Any thoughts here on on terror attacks and on Xavier's health and on his trust in Magneto?
I definitely like I definitely like setting up the plot here. What's going to happen? Like somebody's doing these attacks in the X-Men's name at possibly the worst time. So it's like, oh crap, this is not the best time for this kind of stuff to be going on. I know all the Cyclops and the Professor X haters love this freaking panel over here with these two guys. Professor X is dying. Yeah. Cyclops is like, I don't know about all of this.
Your mortal enemy's moving in.
Yeah, but
your wife's pregnant.
Right, which we'll get to, but
I mean, yeah, and he's not even there. He's not even on the same continent as her.
Right?
Yeah,
he's got a pregnant wife. What?
Yeah, he was in Asgard fighting, Asgardians and stuff.
Right, but I'm intrigued about Professor X slowly deteriorating and him basically telling Cyclops, you got to carry this on for me. You know what I mean? Like you gotta keep this thing going if I'm not around, kind of thing. So no, I dig it.
Justin, do you have any thoughts on Cyclops maybe feeling like he wishes he was given the mantle? He's still pretty young, but do you think there's a part of him that is maybe jealous of Magneto at this point?
Ooh, I don't know. I don't think I've really thought of it like that. I think back to, I get he's the way he describes how he's really struggling with backing and trusting Magneto. The fact that, since X-Men issue number 1, Magneto's basically been trying to kill the guy. And knowing that they have this past, not just a fight, not just a punch in the face, not just whatever, literally trying to kill Cyclops. Yeah. Like, if I'm Cyclops, I'm like, yeah, like, I don't like, why is he living with us? Like, why are we cool with him? He's
gonna sleep down the hall from my pregnant wife. What's going on with this?
Yeah, like I'm like never gonna go to sleep. So I think that's really still just something that's so stuck with him, which understandably so. I mean, you're a lifelong enemy, and yet you're trying to now hear your mentor and get an understanding and level of respect of, okay, like, let me give this a shot, whatever this is that my mentor sees that I don't, or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think I totally get that, him being mixed. The other thing I found interesting was the fact that Xavier still won't tell him, the truth, even though he does now know the truth to some level. And even in his own mind, he's like, damn it, Professor X, like, just tell me that, like we have a one-on-one, there's no one here, and just like, you have every opportunity to just like have this real talk with me.
Yeah.
And he's just like, no, my indigestion.
The one time Xavier doesn't invade somebody's mind to just haphazardly read their thoughts. Yeah. He would know Scott already knows.
Yes, exactly. The other thing I wanted to highlight was, and to Fable's point, with just like building the plot in general, I love this device of setting someone else up to look like something else, or what's the word I'm thinking of, and I feel like we get that a lot. We get that in like Daredevil comic books, we get that in even like Black Panther and some of the others, and it's just such a great just talking about a storytelling device now at this point, but just like such a great thing, because there's nothing you can like do in the moment. You're like, now the people in the book are like, they don't understand, or the public doesn't know the truth. We got to get a
misunderstanding.
Yeah, like it's just good people. Always classic. It just always works. And I
company, baby.
Yeah. And I did laugh at the sign off to the X-Men. It just made me think of like, I'm like, what if someone was like, no, that's a T. That's a T. That's definitely a T. Men.
The T men.
The men. Maybe they meant the men. And then and it made me think of Monty Python. You guys ever see when he's reading The Castle of and it goes.
He's
like, no, more back of the throat, back of the throat.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyways,
nailed it.
I think
Nailed it. Super Russ 9000 jumping in the chat. What's going on, my friend? And JP's got a lot of great Cyclops hate going on in the chat that I'm really here for. But this is my personal favorite. Scott showing his typical care for the woman in his life by ditching her during childbirth.
Oh, yeah.
Accurate. Yeah. I don't hate him for how he leads the team. I hate him for how he is as a father and a husband and whatever. We'll get back to what we're doing. We're back to the trial. There's people still out front. They've still got signs. Everything is really intense. And basically the prosecutor is presenting his case to the judges. He's letting them know, like, this guy is just a straight up criminal. He's done awful things. He has killed people. He has destroyed property. He has robbed people. He has definitely caused Armageddon on a massive scale. This guy is the pits. He's not talking about Xavier. He's talking about Magneto. But there it is. He's presenting the evidence. Then we jump over to a plane flying out of West Germany that gets struck down and explodes, and somehow on the ground, free Magneto by the X-Men yet again appears. So the fires of drama being stoked here. Lots of things happening. Very intense stuff is happening. Yes, I object, Your Honor. I object. Justin, any thoughts here as we get into the case and the ongoing turmoil of, like, the X-Men being framed?
Just again, just what I mentioned about, like, just knowing how the level of seriousness this is, and the stakes that are up for right now for the just Magneto and really all of mutant kind. I will also just want to highlight the. Oh, actually, I don't know if you have it on here. Actually, you know what? No, I'm.
It's on the next page.
The previous. I meant to just comment on the artwork of Xavier in that last, like, close up.
His face.
Yeah, I love the detail in that. Again, a lot of this has been hit or miss, but so far this issue's been pretty solid. There's nothing that's been too jarring.
No, the faces are really one of the top elements, I think, for this issue.
Agreed.
Fable, any thoughts here for yourself as far as, like, now these terrorists blowing up planes and stuff? They're getting serious with their free Magneto now.
Yeah, well, this is where the art fails me, because I'm like, where's this written?
Yeah, it's tucked in the flames there. Yeah. I don't know what they used to write in fire.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like Dark Knight Rises. They just do the bat signal in the flames and hope that it looks like a bat signal.
Yeah, no, I second what Justin just said about the seriousness of the situation. Even though Jasper is a guy you'd love to hate, he has to state his case, and it has to kind of, like, you kind of have to write it in a way where it's like, well, he has a point.
He's gonna bring it. Yeah, he's gonna bring it.
He has a point. Even though this guy sucks, he's not wrong, right? In a lot of ways. So I dig that.
There's been some atrocities committed for sure, some serious things, especially if you go all the way back to the history of the character all the way through the original run, right?
Yeah.
Jackson Roy Kirk saying, Scott, remember you're married? Yeah, but she isn't Jean. Magic Lasso with the quote of the night: when Magneto don't give a shit, you must have quit. I mean, that's some gold right there. My client was merely a baby at the time that this occurred. Oh my gosh, you guys are amazing. Love this chat. All right, well, let's get into wardrobe decisions, gang. If you're gonna go on trial as a mass murdering super villain, just don't leave the cape at home, man. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Do you have to wear all purple and a giant cape with a letter M on you're just asking for it.
Read
buddy.
the room.
It's like come on, brother. Do me a favor. I know Gabriel Howard had a conversation. I want the miniseries of just Gabriel Howard talking to him about the costume
beforehand.
Yes, give me an entire comic of just the dialogue between her and Magneto of, like, no, you can't wear this. And he's like, I'm going to wear this. And she's
that
like,
would be
like, just not the cape. Just don't wear the cape and the, like, bicep length gloves. Like, wear something, like, just like we can get a purple suit. What about the suit? Like, No, I'm wearing the suit. You can see your nipple on the side. Like you have cutouts on the side. Like it's not appropriate for this. Like everybody's in a suit. Like, why are you wearing this? No, I'm definitely wearing this.
She should have made him watch My Cousin Vinny.
It is all so good. The incrimination wear by Magneto. No capes. It is such a phenomenal costume that the whole moment if I'm the judge, I'm just like, this guy's bold. This guy's a bold character.
Nothing says fascist dictator like
right? It's so good. But yeah, here we got Mrs. Howler. She's on point. To JP's comment earlier, she is coming to the judge saying, look, we live in an era of superheroes, supervillains. This supervillain that you know as Magneto was basically killed and turned into an infant and born again, literally, by Mutant Alpha. You can't charge him for any crimes in this past life. Like, he paid for them. He was killed for them. So if you want to discuss charges against my client, it's got to be everything after that moment, everything after he was a baby. Like, you know, he grew up, and the judges are for it. The judges are like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, of course, this upsets our British, defense attorney, prosecutor, very upset. Sorry, the prosecutor, very upset. Doesn't matter. The judges side with the defense on this, and Magneto will not be charged with any crimes prior to being made into a baby. So hence the importance of Defenders 15 and 16.
That's right.
We jump back to the X-Men team. They're trying to figure out, okay, who is giving us the grief here? Who is doing all these terrorist attacks? They pick some likely targets since the terror attacks are getting closer and closer to Paris. They focus in and around France on some likely targets. I don't know how they pick their targets because, let's be fair, gang, if you don't know, France is not tiny. Lots of options, lots of hospitals, lots of airports, lots of military bases. I'm just gonna say, but they narrow it down. They team up and they split up across Paris, apparently looking for options. But then we go back to the trial, and things are getting really heated. It's getting really intense. And Magneto feels like maybe the court is on my side. But his attorney says, yeah, I kind of expected to win these early arguments. This is going to get bad for you, buddy. It's going to get bad fast. Thoughts here, Fable, I'll throw it to you first. Thoughts on Gabrielle Haller as a lawyer here. She lawyers.
Yeah, I thought it was a little far-fetched that they went with her argument. I thought that argument was kind of weak. I think Jasper shot it down pretty well. But it looks like at least one of the judges is definitely on Magneto's side,
right?
And you'll see that later in this issue. How much he's like, see, he's doing good. So yeah, it was a little far fetched, but again, we have to build that tension, right? We have to present these arguments. As far as the X-Men, I thought it was interesting that they were like, send in the New Mutants or something, and they were like, no, we can't, they're too young or something like that. And then
Storm basically says, no, they're just kids. We need someone to carry on the legacy of the X-Mansion if we all die.
Yeah, which I think is a better argument than saying they're just kids because they've been through a lot already.
Right, for sure.
But I agree with her when she says we need somebody to carry on the legacy. That makes a lot of sense, just in case something happens to them. So yeah. I looked forward to when I read this issue, it was about looking forward to what the arguments would be and how would they be countered and whatever. So they delivered on this page, on these few pages.
Sure. JP says you got to rock the villain threads. I may get convicted, but I'm gonna look good.
That's right.
The Joker dresses better than you. Yes, they are. It's gay Paris. We are of course smoking in the courtroom. That is not unnecessary. This is important.
It's true.
Magneto says, I remember everything I did before I became a baby. Joke's on them.
Right? That's what I'm saying. He remembers outfits and all that stuff. And I'm like, so
Justin, any thoughts here on the lawyering that's happening or the wardrobe choices that are going on here?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like obviously the baby storyline in general is so over the top ridiculous. But for anyone who would point out if they didn't cover that, and for anybody who just says, well, technically Magneto, if we're talking about X-Men 1, Magneto did do some really over the top evil, he needs to be, so they wouldn't, so Howler wouldn't have any leg to stand on in that regard. So in this way, it's just a way to remove all the things that Chris didn't write, and
which
and
I
maybe
think is totally the point, right?
Yeah, right.
He's like, I don't want to deal with what those other writers did.
Yes.
I got my own stuff to deal with now.
And this is something I would love to bring up to Chris too. Like, I'll add to my questions for Chris Claremont, is asking him and saying like, hey, like when you came to like write Magneto, knowing the history or whatever you knew of the history of Magneto, and when you found out about this baby thing, like what, did you feel like you had to correct it? Did you feel like you were fine with it and just this was your way of moving forward? Or like, what are your personal opinions on that storyline? Not to knock the writer who did it before, but just like generally speaking, and again, the time's different, all that stuff. But I would like to just kind of hear his thoughts,
what were your goals and what were you trying to accomplish and how did you plan it out? Because this, if you look from 104 through 161, which is the flashback with Xavier, there's a journey that he put Magneto on, and I don't know if he knew 100 issues in advance.
No, maybe not 100,
but maybe there was some chess that he was playing there.
Yes,
right.
big time.
And it's a good out for why Magneto's still so young looking and jacked.
Yeah,
because I always wondered that myself. It's like if this guy was in World War II. And you know what I mean? Why does he look so damn jacked and Xavier looks so damn
right?
They rebooted him, Fable. He got rebooted in 1977.
So it works out.
The other thing was I just found it interesting that Cyclops was talking about, basically saying, hey, we can't call on the Avengers, Fantastic Four either. They would feel duty bound to arrest us on site. It says, whatever happens, X-Men, as usual, we're on our own. And I think this is what I love so much about the X-Men is that they're in such a unique situation all the time, just being who they are. And how they're viewed in the world and everything else, and how that really plays a real life role in what people go through today and have gone through for years. So I just a reminder of like, like we don't need those other hero teams. Like X-Men are going to handle it because that's what we've always had to do. So here we go. Like, let's just take care of business. So I like that kind of leading the charge as a way to leave these pages here
for sure. Jackson, I want you to understand this is firstly accurate, very true. What this is all building towards is the day that Justin and I pitch Claremont's handlers on a on a Comic-Con event where we get to just interview him for an hour. We'll pay him for the hour, right? We'll stream it to YouTube and we'll just go question by question through Justin's list and just have a hoot. And it'll be like televised. We'll figure out a way to basically say, hey, you're going to be at this con. We've rented a room. give us an hour of your time, and we're just going to go through this.
Well, 3.5, but
3.5. JP says, "Oh, that classic baby defense."
It gets me.
Everybody's got that trick. So yes, the team splits up and they take several different key vantage points and kind of are waiting to see if these villains will strike. They strike a hospital and Colossus and Nightcrawler are there. They're very worried about what's going on. Nightcrawler goes in to try to check on people in the hospital who might have been harmed. Colossus is like, they're in metal suits and a tank. This is going to be fun. And he just messes them up and has a good old blast. Justin, any thoughts here on Colossus getting to have playtime?
Yeah, man, this is John, you said this before about JR's work. And one thing I do think it definitely rings true from how I see it to his creativity to define what is happening in the pictures, in the action scenes. Like his action scenes are always so accurate, even if it's at the cost of certain other ways things are drawn or whatever. I just think this represents. I mean, he does such a good job of like you feel Colossus, punching through this metal
that
tech,
tank, and
and like ripping up the road, like all that stuff, like just the way his body is, the posing, like it's all, I feel always so accurate. So I do,
so dynamic, right?
I do appreciate that. Yeah. From a guy like JR. So, but yeah, these were fun, just seeing Colossus kind of go at it right off the bat here.
For sure. Fable, I don't know how you're feeling about this Colossus era. We're getting the red costume Colossus, but he definitely seems to be able to throw down the same way.
Yeah, no, not my favorite suit. Not my favorite suit. And these guys, I don't know. These guys are, what are they, like generic Marvel bad guys? Like
they're not even interesting enough to get like full color. They just get one color at a time.
Or like a shot.
They're
like
blue here. They're going to be gray a little later.
They might be pink later.
We're not even going to let them talk. They don't get to talk.
Okay.
But yeah, cool to see Colossus in action always. 100%.
Yeah, for sure. Way Claremont talks in Justin's pace. This is going to be more like 3.5 days.
Yeah.
Shots fired.
Accurate.
But this continues. Yeah. The Colossus realizes, I need to destroy a part of this building to put the fire out now that Nightcrawler's gotten a lot of people out. And of course, it destroys everything but his cute little undies. And then he gets blasted by some energy and launched all the way across the lawn of this hospital into a car. That's when the rest of the team arrives, coming to their aid. Rachel, Rogue, Cyclops, they're all coming down to land, and they get blasted by some energy. Thankfully, they team together to kind of protect themselves and really just save Scott from dying. And they land together only to find that they really don't know what's going on. All the villains have seemingly escaped, and now they are the scapegoats. They are the ones that are now getting blamed for destroying the hospital, not being there to rescue everybody. Fable, I don't know your thoughts here. I mean, there's some really dynamic energy here, but then this is kind of a botched mission for the team in some ways.
Yeah, definitely. I would have liked to see more of these mysterious villains, right? These soldiers.
Sure.
They don't really show much of them.
Not in the whole issue.
Yeah, they really don't. They're really vague, or like, I don't know. Like you said, they're not really even colored too much. But I do like, again, Rachel coming to the rescue, right? Rogue gets blasted, Cyclops and her are falling, and she uses her powers to soften the fall. And then we see my boy Colossus coming out, jacked with his uniform all ripped up. He's pissed off about that.
I know. All he says is, as usual, only my costume suffered.
Which is, I mean, this is how you should look, dude. Like, this should be your costume.
It's a sign.
All
you need is the boots and the underwear. That's all you need.
But yeah, no, it's okay. I think the coloring is not the greatest. I don't know who the colorist is for this issue, but it doesn't help JR's work. It doesn't accentuate it for me.
Dan Green?
It's like yellow.
Glynis Oliver.
Blue.
Glynis Oliver, and then Dan Green is the finisher or the inker.
Yeah. The coloring for me is a little too bland, especially coming off of that incredible Barry Windsor Smith Storm issue. When you see that, but
that's on another league for sure.
Another level, yeah. So it's all right. It's all right for me. Again, setting up these attacks and getting foiled. So that's definitely part of the plot here.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. JB says, "Boo! Let him die." Okay, it's getting. JP, you got to have something in the tank in 2 weeks. Save something. Justin, any thoughts here on Rachel coming to the rescue or Colossus basically messing up more stuff?
I just wanted to point out that I appreciate the onomatopoeia, the unique onomatopoeia usage that we have in these pages. Indeed. You got Zark, you got Tunch, you got Badam. Prior to that, the page before was Katham with a KTH. Rakal when he ripped up the the road. So yeah, just some cool, fun.
And the
I
words
feel like
pop in fun color.
Yeah, if I was writing
ways.
comics, that's probably one of the first things that it would draw me in is to like, all right, let's make some cool noises here, folks. Like let's get wild.
I love it.
Not even
For
English.
sure.
It's okay. Let's just do it. You know?
Not even, let's make up some words.
Let's get get creative. We're all creators. Right? We'll just get out of the.
Daddy Chet's mad. Watch out. I know he likes his Cyclops. Watch your mouth.
Watch your mouth.
Careful. Oh, Ruben Guzman, my neighbor. Ruben, we got to get together and have a beer or a coffee or something. It's been too long, my man. I hope Baby Tiger is doing well. So yeah, we'll jump a little bit forward. The police show up, the gendarmes show up, and they're coming to arrest the X-Men, and that's not going to go well for them at all. Rachel's like, "Give me those guns. What you doing? I'll slap you upside the head." And then the Cyclops sees, the X-Men are going to get blamed for this again. So he decides, the best way to get rid of the spray painted, blame that I'm going to take is I'm going to blow this up. I'm going to blast this wall. I'm going to destroy this building. So he blasts that. They kind of wipe the memories of some of the people, so they don't quite remember seeing the X-Men. They run off thinking this will work. This is a great idea. Nope. Front page, paper the next day. X-Men did it. and we saw that Cyclops guy destroy the last little piece of our hospital when he was leaving. What a jerk that guy is. So back at the trial, people are really upset. They're so mad. They're throwing produce now. They brought produce to this rally now. There's lettuce and tomatoes and things. And Kitty Pryde's like, let me protect you from a salad. And she, protects them from a salad because that's what she's there for. And they're busy basically just trying to think through, like, what is our strategy here? What's going on? And you get this kind of meaningful moment where Gabriel basically just says, hey, you and I, we're both Jewish and we have a lot of family connections to this atrocities in this part of the world from not too long ago. And Magneto himself is a product of that experience. So there's maybe a little bit of connectivity happening between these three characters. Kitty being able to understand Magneto in a way that the original team couldn't. And it has a connection to him in an interesting kind of way. And then the last little bit there, we just get a brief glimpse of Madeline Pryor pregnant back in America, as she's listening to a lot of this on the radio and in the news and kind of hearing some of this information. So let's throw it to Justin first this time. Any thoughts here on the escalation that's going on here?
Yeah, a few things. So the panel with the guns next to your head there, John.
Yeah,
I love that moment, and I love that Rachel says, "For what it's worth, gentlemen, we're the good guys." And like, I just love, like, she's trying to like sit like, hey, like, I know you guys are all fooled into this thing and it doesn't look right, but we are good. And I just love that she, like, the way it shows how she takes their guns, like just how powerful she is, able to take them like they're nothing. They're just children essentially to her. And just, Rachel's badass. And then, like, it is frustrating to Cyclops' point. He's like, man, we could do all the things right and it just doesn't matter. Like, we're, the media's got it. Like, it's just, we're not coming off great. And clearly they have still not figured out the correct angle at this, because this is now the second or third time, right, that they've kind of failed in the attempt of doing good. And they are trying to do good and they are saving lives in a sense, but it's just not coming off right.
For sure.
So I like that we're still seeing him and the team struggle in that way as they figure this out. And then some deeper scenes here with just Kitty Pryde and even Gabby. I mean, it's nice to have another moment with Gabby getting a reminder of her history and the connection that she has with Kitty here in this instance, and just how serious this entire thing is. I think it's good that we have that little glimpse, because to some, we do know Gabby from the New Mutant stuff and the glimpse from the flashback from 161, but like there's not much else that ties us to her. So I think giving her a little bit of a background in this instance is good. I appreciate it.
Chet says, no, I was just blaming Justin for his Bam Zark touch. There's enough Cyclops drama happening in the chat. You could be pointing that finger at anybody, so I get it. The French police in their white gloves. We are going to stop the criminals. Madeline says, so wait, Scott has been back from Asgard for a week and he hasn't come to check on me? Let's not pick at that scab too heavily, my friend. Fable, any thoughts here? Personally, I think those 3 panels of Kitty talking to Gabrielle Hallard are some of the more powerful ones in this book.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree, because you have the X-Men who are, trying to figure out who's framing them, right? And you have them being like, well, at least Cyclops, who is their leader, saying like, no matter what we do, you know what I mean? We can do all this, and does it even matter?
They'll
He
still
says,
hate us.
and it makes no difference. That's his words exactly.
Yeah.
And then on the next one, where Kitty's with Professor X and Howard, she's saying kind of the same thing. Like, how could people be so cruel? And these people just hate us. And I like that she's giving her a perspective. Mob mentality versus individual thought. You know what I mean? Like, don't get it confused, kind of thing. And really opening her mind to how to like feel about these things, right? You can't just blanket like blame everybody. You know what I mean? You gotta understand where people are coming from. So I get that. And Madeline. Oh, fucking poor Madeline, man.
I'll let you go first on that when we turn the page here for sure.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I just wanted to read some of the stuff that goes on between Kitty and Gabrielle Hallard. I know we're at the hour mark. This is a double-sized issue, gang. Buckle in. I know it's on my channel. Just deal with it.
Yeah, that's right. Stick it to him, John. That's right. Smash
Kitty
that thumbs down.
Kitty says, "What's the point? It's probably already too late." And Gabrielle says, "It's easy to run away or give up, as my parents did. They were lucky. They died in Bergen-Belsen, which is a concentration camp in the northwest of Germany. I actually visited it when I was with my brother in Germany, and I walked. It's where Anne Frank's whole family ended their lives, and they've got things set up all across it for just to kind of sense like they've got these giant mounds with just numbers on them because they can radioactively scan isotopes and kind of determine, with the amount of skeletons in the ground, kind of how many people. So like this, you'll walk past a mound and it says, 700. You'll walk past a mound, it'll say 1,000. And there's just like, and you start looking up and there's just mounds everywhere, just grassy hills all around. So she says, for them, the pain ended quickly. They've no memories to haunt them, no more fears. But we who survived have a duty to make certain the Holocaust never happens again for anyone. We must fight, Kitty. We may be defeated, but we must never surrender. Whoa.
Yeah.
I'm just laying it on.
Yep.
Lay it on thick.
It's great. It's heavy.
I feel like Claremont gave Madeline panels to prove she is better than Scott. That's fair. I'm not usually a 3-hour guy, but hey, whatever the case requires. So yes, Madeline is basically thinking like, this is getting worse. It's so hard. I don't know if I can do this mom and wife to a superhero thing. And then damn it, if father-in-law doesn't show up, this guy holy crap, and the bird hair lady shows up with him, and she's just like, come on, gang, what the heck? And not only do these people show up in the middle of her living room, not only do these people just completely invade her privacy, who knows what she's wearing and doing at this moment, whatever, their instant response is, damn it, this is not where we're supposed to be. Let's get the heck out of here. I'm out of here. Man, that woman's carrying your grandkid. Like, just take a second.
Yeah.
That's your damn grandkid in there. He's about to be born. What the heck? Starjammer.
It's
crap.
a summer's trade, man.
Corsair. Get your priorities together. But no, zip, they're gone. And instantly, Madeline goes into labor. Right then, right there, baby time. We'll deal with that in 201. We will not get any more information here. Instead, we jump back, and this is that moment for Magic Lasso. We get binary, gang. We get Carol Danvers, Starjammer. She is with the team. She is helping them basically create a portal to teleport across space and time all the way to Earth, because Lilandra knows Xavier is dying. His health is waning. It's not good. And they're hoping to bring him back to their Starjammer ship and hopefully save his life with their technology. The problem is it's a very unstable process, and it is just not working very well. So they sent him to the wrong location. They realize he's in Paris. Time to try again. So they bring themselves back. They reboot. They check in with Hepzibah and with Binary, and they're like, okay, we got to try this again. Did I see Chode? Yeah, Chode's there.
Oh yeah, he's there.
Yeah.
Everybody, like, we'll just try take
there.
2 and see if we can do this better. So Fable, I know you had some thoughts on Madeline. Any thoughts here on deadbeat bum Corsair? What do you got for me?
Well, look, man, I'm definitely a lover of Cyclops, right? Like I love Cyclops. I think he's one of the greatest heroes at Marvel. One of the best mutant leaders in the history of X-Men and the mutants and stuff like that. But it's panels like these that I cannot defend him, man. I just cannot defend him.
True.
Absolutely. Like, holy crap, dude. You've been back a week and you didn't call your pregnant wife? That's messed up, dude. Like if there's any villain that I'd be like, yeah, she's right. Not even Magneto, right? Like, not even Magneto, Sinister, none of these guys. I'm like, screw these guys. I don't care what their issues are or whatever. But if Madeline went buck wild, I'd be like, you guys kind of had it coming with her, poor girl.
Spoiler alert. She does go buck wild.
I didn't even think about the grandfather thing. You just said it. And I'm like, damn, it runs in the family.
Yeah. It does. I typed in the chat proof that this is learned behavior.
I didn't even get that part. And then this poor girl, if this is not enough, well, first of all, if this issue isn't enough with everything that's going on, boom, Starjammers. Right. Damn, you know what I mean? They're just cramming everything in here. But yeah, if that's not enough for this poor girl, as soon as they leave, she freaking goes into to labor, and it's like they just leave her there. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, no time, sweetheart. I think he says as they leave.
Yeah, we got to save the bald guy. We got to save the bald guy.
I felt so bad for this girl. Like I cannot defend Scott on this one. I'm sorry. If you wanted to come at me on the argument of if Scott is this or that, you win with this one.
Don't do it. Yeah, Fable's got the receipts right now.
And yeah, man, more stuff. Like more. I said in my post, there's a jam-packed issue. There's no lie, man. All the stuff going on just a few pages before, and then you get Starjammers and their whole thing of what's going on, and the Lands are coming to try to save Charles, who we know is dying. So like. He's throwing a lot of plot threads in here, and he's weaving them expertly, I would say.
Yeah. Yep. We are talking about Darren Adams jumped in the chat. Sorry, Darren. Yes, this is issue number 200. Thank you for Bobby for hooking that up in the chat. Corsair says, yeah, but she's not Jean. Son of a why you gotta be so cold? Why you gotta be that way? JP says Corsair cares about as much as Scott does. Of course, Magic Lasso excited as I am to see Binary in the chat. As much as I love the Ms. Marvel with the lightning bolt costume, great look. There's something I grew up with Carol as Binary. That was my version, so I'm way into it. Lalandra Hare just don't care. There are 10 kinds of people: those who understand Binary and those who don't.
It's a great one, Adam.
Nailed it. Yes, this is Madeline's villain origin. Holy, yeah, and I don't want to spoil things for Justin, but he's read the Hickman era. If he saw any of Madeline during that time, she's the Goblin Queen. She is a villainess in some manner. Yeah. This is legitimately her origin, and it's nice. That's one of the benefits, I think, Justin, of being able to read the book with hindsight, right? To be able to read it for the first time, knowing like where some of these things land is that maybe, there are those nuggets that really pay off. And in my opinion, Madeline is a justified villain, and it's kind of fun to see that journey.
Yeah, big time. I mean, clearly it's Cyclops who turned her into a villain.
Yes,
he drove her,
and he ain't done.
Madness. Yeah, and he ain't done. Yeah, I feel so bad for her at these panels, and I mean, I echo everything Fable said just previously, but yeah, it's just it's pretty brutal. It's pretty brutal, and now she's having a baby on her own. No one's around, and it's been 10 days. It's just nuts. So I'll leave it at that. But
and if you're wondering why Cable is the way he is, No,
I was very excited to see Lilandra and Corsair, and just knowing
nobody's ever said that. Nobody's ever said that. Come on,
baby.
come on.
No, well,
Nobody
more about the Starjammers, not Corsair, but just
Okay.
the Starjammers, because I love
You say Hepzibah,
Chode. You know, we got
me.
Sikorsky. You know, is back.
Yes,
the
the robot, the medical robot.
Yeah. I do miss that team. I do miss the space outings and all that other stuff that's been kind of going on with the Shi'ar Empire and all that stuff. So it's been a little while. I feel like it's been a little while since we've really dipped into that stuff. So yeah, just fun to see them on the pages. But that's like Fable said, it is there are a lot of angles. But I feel like it still works. It's not too much. And this was what, a page and a half, 2 pages of
we're almost exactly halfway through the book, gang.
Well, yeah. but it is it's just like, oh, hey, like there's this other aspect of like, you know, let's bring these characters back in because they are relevant, especially knowing like where, you know, things with Professor X and all that other stuff. So you know, it's not just one dimensional in that
no, great points. Let's see here. So next up, we jump back to the trial. Kitty Pryde is now like, you know what, gang, I'm not going to be babysitting. I want to get the costume on. I'm going to do full Zorro with the shoulder pads. I'm going to help this team. And the team is basically deciding, like, what do we do? Because we still feel like there's a big threat out there. How do we figure this out? Meanwhile, the prosecutors are basically calling forth the head of the Soviet fleet in submarines, and they want him to speak on a crime that Magneto committed with basically an assault on a nuclear submarine, and that's going to be a big crux of kind of what's going on. Meanwhile, the team is like, you know what, we're hunting villains with superpowers, and we have a mutant who's known to hunt people with superpowers. Maybe this could work out well. And they sick their hound on the villains here. And Doggy goes and is like, I got the scent. The game is afoot. So Justin, thoughts here on the team going on the offense?
Yeah, I do. Well, first, I like this little bit here with Kitty again, just kind of showing she's got a lot to learn. She's like kind of complaining about just all the mob out front and everything else, and doesn't even realize that technically the people that are out front are for her. And she's kind of, gets corrected by some of the team, like, hey, you got to pay attention, like look closely at what they're saying or what they're chanting. That those people out there, they're supporting us.
We finally have some French people on our side.
Right. So and it also shows like it is a mix. I like that they're kind of showing that there's both sides to this. And then it is funny too. She's kind of like, oh, that's embarrassing. She's like, am I gonna need glasses? Like she's like a little concerned about like just a kid still, like still very much learning. And then like on the flip side of like everything we're talking about, Cyclops and being not great as a father and a husband, he does have these other moments where like he thinks about the ideas of where they might attack next, and he like says that to Kitty, like, hey, now that one little corner piece where he's just like, if I was them, where would I want to attack next? The people that are out there supporting us, how bad would that look? Think about that.
Yeah.
Like, bingo. Okay, let's start to, and then they move on with. So he has his tactical moments, which are good. He's good in that regard in battle and everything else. And then getting Rachel here, using her hound side, I'm sure is very mixed feelings for her. I mean, it is clearly just in her own thoughts, but like, man, I don't know if I was the rest of the team, I feel like I wouldn't make her do that, or I wouldn't ask her. I wouldn't ask her to do that. Yeah, like let's figure out something. I don't know. That's just
Fable. What I love about these 2 pages side by side is you have 2 young kids who lived very different lives, right? You got Kitty, who's basically had, despite her father being an a-hole, took care of her and cared for her and raised her well and gave her everything, and now has had a group of ex-friends that have been caring for her. And inversely, you have Rachel, who's been treated like an animal and has been tortured and has been trained to be awful, and both of them are being put into positions of I don't want to say authority, but certainly responsibility, right? And it's a kind of an interesting side by side to see the two of them going through that. I didn't know if you had any thoughts on these two young ladies, because ultimately both still new mutants, these characters.
Well, yeah, I like that Kitty is learning, right? She took a lesson from Holler in the earlier panel. Now this one where she's not even bothering to read the room, right? She's just seeing all the crowds, and she's like, and they're like, no, look at the signs. And I thought it was hilarious that she talks about needing glasses. I started laughing.
And she's mad. She's like, it's not fair.
It's not fair. Am I gonna need glasses?
Yeah.
And I was like, is he setting up another freaking subplot, freaking Claremont? Is this what he's doing here? Is Kitty in like 5 issues gonna miss a mark because she can't see it? we get the the little tidbit right here that she can't see so good. But I thought that was hilarious. And Hound using powers again. Rachel being a big part of this team, coming. They depend on Rachel for the past few issues here.
Oh yes,
a lot.
Yeah,
and she's a soldier, man. She's doing what she has to do, even though it goes against her. She swore that she would never do this, right? She swore on her parents' grave that she wouldn't use this power to hunt mutants, and then here she is, which I think is so funny. That Jackson Roy Kirk says Scott making his daughter do something painful to her, that tracks.
It does.
Hilarious. And then this is where the defense this is where the trial goes wrong for the accusers, right? Calling up this idiot, who obviously he's not going to win them the trial because he attacked Magneto, right? You sunk you sunk my battleship. I was like, so of course, dude. Like you try to like kill these people. So no, but that's a great point about the two young ladies and that they're the juxtaposition.
Yeah, the yin and yang. I think of their because they've ended up in the same place.
Yeah, even in color, like right, she's blue, she's red.
Yeah, the hot and the cold, right? Yeah, for sure. And these pages, even in the comic, are right next to each other. So if you open the issue, these two pages are side by side, and there's a lot of close-ups to the book. And of course, that final one of Rachel is haunting. That close-up where you're just right in her face, and the eyes are so dark and intense, and there's not a lot of life there.
Yeah.
Versus Kitty, who has this kind of childlike quality still coming through.
Is that true? Adam's comment there about the face tattoos. I don't think I realized that they
are permanent, and she makes them go away. She uses her power to make that so that people can't.
Did we read that already, or is that
I can't remember?
I don't remember.
It's
really cool.
That came through.
It's really heavy.
Yeah,
that's interesting. Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's see here. So let's, I guess we'll continue along here. We jump back to the trial. As you guys were saying, this is some big stuff here, some big discussions around what happened with the submarine, right? Who provoked who was the one causing this to happen? Who's to blame for this situation? And Magneto talking about, his goals. I was not trying to destroy here. I was trying to protect, He says, it's important to note that at this point, we're in the Reagan, Gorbachev 80s era of like nuclear armament and the fear of, being destroyed by nuclear weapons. I mean, this is the era of Superman 4, A Quest for Peace, and the fear of just nuclear war and Holocaust. So Magneto in some ways is speaking as a civilian, in this idea that like, look, I am powerless here. Your nation has the chance to destroy us 10 times over. Their nation has the chance. I'm just sitting here in the middle trying to find peace for myself and my kindred spirits. And I was standing up for myself, and I felt the need to do this. And he has a sequence here where he says, I wanted to spare them the fate that my family suffered in Auschwitz, and do not tell me that a thing cannot happen again, because that is a lie. You humans slaughter each other because of the color of your skin or your faith or your politics or for no reason at all. Too many of you hate as easily as you draw breath. So what's to prevent you from adding us to the list?
Damn.
Slap to the
So
face
good.
there.
So
That is
good.
just like gold.
Yes.
And so there's a lot of this intensity and discussions around what a civilian dealing with this incredibly challenging situation and these amazing powers could be allowed to do, right? There's some debate here on some of those kinds of things. So Fable, any thoughts here on Magneto as he finally starts to, like, for the first time, speak up for himself, right? Because he's been kind of quiet to now.
Yeah. No, great writing here. This is some good stuff. The stuff he brings up about, humans just destroying each other over nothing in a lot of ways, and him just trying to protect himself, trying to protect his people, trying not to have what occurred in World War II happen again, that kind of argument. But I absolutely love when he says, I am the reason mutants are unjustly feared. He recognizes that his tyranny is the reason why he's even on trial, or why people even hate his people more. And he's ready to take responsibility for that. I thought that was awesome. I think that's the line that turns not only people on his side, but the reader to Magneto's side.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like you're because you're kind of like Scott. Like, like, what the hell, dude? Like, this guy? Really? This guy? He's gonna be our leader. Who's gonna swallow that? Right?
Yeah.
And these are the kind of lines that kind of make you see, oh, okay, this guy is way more deeper, way more layered, way more complex than we ever gave him credit to. And no fault to the reader, because they've always written him like a mustache twirling villain until Claremont got his hands on him and made him say stuff like this. And the other stuff that I love that he said is like, we are your children. We are the next evolution of mankind. What kind of father or parents, do this to their children? Yeah. And I love that too. Like, just letting them know, like, guys, you guys are like, over the top here with this hatred. Like, we're you, dude. Like, you know what I mean? We're just the next generation. Like, so I loved what he said here, because not only does it justify his actions, but it also lets the reader know, this Magnus guy, he's all right. It's not that bad. And it makes John wear shirts like Magneto was right and all that. Going forward, you know what I mean? It's like,
Brother Joe says, for someone who doesn't know what's going on, I'm glad you had Fable on the show. X-Man reader. I love it. He also, the other quote I wanted to read that there, he says, my hope is to make the world understand the reasons for my being, but most of all to punish me for my crimes and no longer my people. So he's willing to basically just martyr himself.
Very selfless.
That's what the M stands for, martyr.
Yeah. So Justin, how did I know you saw the episode of 97 first, but this is his speech, right? This is the big speech he gets to give versus the one he gives floating high above the city when he's got the judges around him. It's a similar speech. It's not as aggressive as the one on the show, but I'm curious just how you're feeling at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you guys nailed it. Everything about these scenes here and the build up to this, because like you said, he really hasn't had a say, or it's really just been him being attacked verbally and listed all the things he's done bad and all this stuff so far. So for him to have this moment now, finally through this middle of the issue, just hit so hard. And again, to what Fable said, like readers have always looked at him the one way. So it's like, for what Claremont's now doing or what he's done here, I mean, this is like, this is significant for this character and the growth of this character. And like, it is brilliant. It really is. And you really give this backing or this meaning behind Magneto, and you just straight up view him different now at this point. So just this is what's going to make the grades so high for this issue. I mean, it's all been fantastic. It's all been fantastic, but like some just such heavy moments, and not just of Magneto, but representing all of mutant kind. Like it just represents so much, and the other side of it of hate and how he highlights hate throughout this and how it's being used. So I love it. This is great stuff. I can't wait for kind of just seeing more of where we go. And to your point with I should go back and rewatch 97, that episode.
I'm absolutely going to watch it this week.
Yeah,
I know.
I'll put it on my list.
I will watch this one.
Yeah, because I want to hear the differences. I want to hear. I do recall it being a bit different of an angle, or
Well, and they dovetail like Storm losing her powers in that
was all happening
storyline
like
too. She was like protecting Magneto, and she takes the hit for him instead of for Rogue.
Oh yeah,
some of those differences
like
are
twisted.
there.
Yeah, no, I'll watch it again for sure.
Adam says, "You cannot wish us away, Wanda. Hold my tiara." Sorry. So from here we jump to a barge, a ship, a tour, it's more like a tourist boat coming into town, and the X-Men are there because they're like, oh, this boat has got the problem. It's got these bad guys on it. And so they dive on board. Colossus is like, I'm not wearing that red suit again. It's stupid. I'm just going to bounce the bullets off of this instead. And they go straight in. Cannonball. Throw the cannonball right on him. Fastball special coming right in your face. Yeah. And he just starts chopping them up. Rachel's using her powers. Kitty's having some issues because there's a lot of backup systems in these robotic mech suits. So she shuts one down, they activate another one, and they don't seem to be phased by her phasing, if you will. So Justin, any thoughts here as we get our fastball special?
Yeah, I was excited for that. I feel like we haven't seen it in a while, at least not from the original duo. So nice to see that being put to use, and the team finally kind of getting an edge to some level. They were from the scenes we saw earlier, Cyclops making the call to say, wouldn't it kind of makes sense that they're going to go after that area. Let's see if we can surprise that side of things. So again, very generic hero or bad guys, but we start to or we're going to find out soon here.
Well, I would argue we're going to find out who's leading them, but we never get information on these.
True. That's true. Yeah. We find the leaders.
It is a big weak point for me in the issue is the frustration of like, couldn't we just get like one team meeting? Hey, all right, you guys go over here. You do this. We're going to do this. Hey, our parents were all members of the Third Reich. That's why we're doing this.
Right. Just
a something. Yeah. We will get the Andrea and Andreas, and their not their backstory, but their motivation, I guess.
Yeah.
But these robot guys, to Fable's comment earlier, like, I don't know if you had any comment, Fable, you wanted to throw in here, but like, they are really bland Marvel robots.
Yeah, generic Marvel robot. Insert generic Marvel robot here.
Yes.
Fastball special. That's all I gotta say. Good stuff. Yeah. Let's go.
All right. Well, then let's go forward one slide, and you can continue that on. We got Rogue dodging them around the Eiffel Tower. We've got Wolverine chopping them all up, and then they're all realizing, like, wait a second, where are the like energy blasting bad guys that we were worried about? Maybe they had another plan, and of course, yes, they did. Their real target was Magneto. The Fenris twins, Andreas and Andrea, have decided that they have used and adopted the name of Fenris, and they've come here to get revenge on Magneto. We don't know quite what, but they're revenge. They want revenge. They don't revenge. We want revenge. So they show up and they start blasting. Magneto's like, you guys suck at this villain thing. Like, gang, I've been doing this for generations. I don't know. You're rookieing this. And he's like, I can block all of it. I'm not impressed. Not impressed. He's protecting his lawyers. He's protecting Xavier. He's like, you guys really have no shot at this. But the team is realizing we got to get back there to protect them. And as they're all thinking through what to do, that's when the Fenris twins are like, you can protect you, but you can't protect the floor. And they blast the ground out from under Magneto. So yeah, where do you want to dive in here, Fable? What are you enjoying or not enjoying in these pages? Oh, sorry, you're muted.
Sorry. It took me a second to connect that these two were the two on the boat in the beginning.
Because they don't tell you. It's not you. They don't tell you.
Yeah,
like, who the hell are these people, and why are they wearing these jackets that John Romita Jr. just loves to put these freaking jackets on everybody?
It was the 80s. Everybody needs shoulder pads and everybody needs funky belts and big boots.
Yeah, I was a little lost at this point, but I was enjoying. I figured these were the people that were framing the X-Men. I mean, I got
right
much,
but they don't outright tell you that either.
Yeah,
you gotta suss that out for yourself.
I kind of assumed it. Yeah.
Bobby, don't ruin any. Don't spoil it, Bobby. We're not there yet. Jeez.
But is it this panel where they mention that they're the Struckers?
No,
kid?
they don't. No. They still haven't done it yet.
Okay. More action. It's an action-packed issue. You get in the battle in the previous on the boat, and now in the courthouse, and Magneto is proving his points in a lot of ways, showing his heroicism. So I'm digging it.
Justin, any thoughts here? Did you get? I want to give you a shot here to discuss the costumes, the battle. What is it you want to get into?
Yeah, so this is where, and I was highlighting earlier that up until the time that we saw the twins on the boat, even though it was an awkward brother-sister moment, I thought that these villains were written out so well, and they just seemed so evil and smart and and didn't give a crap, and they clearly were planning big things. They didn't care about who they had to kill. Again, going back to Storm and all that stuff. Then we get here, and I almost felt like it was like they were a joke. Like it was just like these cheesy costumes. They're like holding hands, and they're like, and I read it exactly how you read the floor, and them being like, shoot the floor. Yeah, this guy, he didn't see that coming. It just seemed like you're this like badass killer, that's willing to shoot Storm, and now you're just like these clowns. You just look like these clowns. So to me, it was like a weak delivery point of these characters, or maybe a misuse, or they could have. I just feel like they could have done better, like it have been more evil, or I don't know. You know what I mean? Like they could have. These were just such throwaway characters.
Yeah. And I think it's partly because like there's a lot of setup and then the payoff is rushed. And I don't know that we get the like moment of like the intensity of this reveal. And I'm just teasing you, Bobby. It's like, this book is 40 years old. Like it robs the intensity of the reveal because it seems rushed and it doesn't seem thought out. Whereas there's a ton of setup to it. So that's my biggest like critique, I guess, of the book is the villains get short shrift because there's so much good stuff for Magneto and the heroes to be going through.
They kind of ruin their own plans, right? In a lot of ways, because they're trying to frame the X-Men, and it's like nobody's figured it out yet, right? Everybody still thinks that the X-Men are doing these things, and here's like, oh no, it was us all along. It's like, you idiots! What are you doing?
This was like a Scooby-Doo villain moment, and I feel like you're right, and they didn't even have to do that. They didn't even have to be. They didn't even have to have powers. They could have been out of the issue the rest of the time. And later at the end of the issue, they could have just been in some warehouse saying, "Oh, our plans got messed up from trying to make the X-Men look bad. We'll get them again soon," or whatever. Like it could have just been that. And now I would have respected them so much more than this clown costume that they're both wearing as they hold hands and they shoot beams out of their fists. Like it's just
they're joining Depeche Mode. What's your problem?
It's just such a missed opportunity. That part did frustrate me. The other thing I wanted to highlight, my boy Nightcrawler doing his thing. I love that he just he bamps and drops some dudes off into the ocean, like have a nice swim. I just want to highlight. I always love that Nightcrawler gets his moments there.
It is not Miss Marvel, Ryan. No, that just because they have a lightning bolt on their chest. That's not what that means.
It is close though. I can see the mix.
So the fight continues in the, I guess, sub basement of the courthouse. I don't know. At this point, it looks like a sewer, but we'll just deal with it. And the twins come down and they're saying, "Oh, you deserve death for what you did to our dad." And Magneto's like, girl, I don't know you. Like, what are you talking about? And they keep trying to kill him. He just keeps playing defense. Magneto is doing his best to just protect and keep them from harming anybody, right? He's doing his best to play defense with them. And they keep blasting. And Xavier, to his credit, has figured out they need to be touching each other. Their powers work in conjunction. If we can distract them and separate them, we'll get some bonuses out of this. So that just at the right moment, he basically lunges forward, uses his ability, and separates the two of them. And when he does, that awful mustachioed lawyer who has been trying to persecute and prosecute Magneto all issue picks up a rock and he's just gonna brain this girl. he's gone from, oh, Magneto, you're so horrible, you killed so many people, to like, I'm gonna kill this blonde girl with a rock. It goes aggressive. It goes hard.
It escalated quickly.
Right? But Magneto stops him. Magneto's like, what are you doing? You're not a villain. You have no cape. Like, you suck at this. He stops the bad guy just long enough for Rachel to read their minds. And Rachel's like, Strucker. They're the Strucker twins. Dun, dun, dun. No, these aren't the Wonder Twins. These are the Strucker. Baron von Strucker was their father. And Magneto's like, oh, dang. More Yahtzees to deal with. This is the worst. They're always popping up. Those Hydra villains are everywhere. And of course, all of this has forced Magneto to yet again suffer some of his pains. His abilities are really, causing him a lot of injury. So a lot of drama happening underneath the courthouse here. Justin, I don't know if you wanted to get into a little bit of the dun 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 Scooby-Doo reveal here.
Yeah. So definitely a lot shown here. So getting the connection with Strucker. Okay, like, yeah, that's serious. That I mean, we know the history with Strucker. Like, again, just the cheesiness of how these guys came to be is not what I would prefer. But I understand their connection. I understand now their angle, what they're really after, or why they're doing what they're doing. Especially to these specific three. I like that they referenced 161. That was an issue we broke down 2-3 seasons ago. And where we learned more about Gabby and everything else. The Jasper dude, like, whoa, like, dude, psycho, like grabs, like, ready to kill. Like, someone's got it. Like, how did this guy get this job? Like, I
don't know where he got that rock, but he was ready.
Yeah, he was ready. I like that. Professor X still thinking ahead. Even had his parts, had his moments here. Big, to recognize separating the two and all that other stuff. Again, cheesy powers, but whatever. And then the other thing I wanted to highlight was the Professor X just talking about after, like, that last panel, I guess, where he's kind of like flinching. He says, I don't need telepathy to see Magneto believes the twins are too dangerous to be allowed to live, but by asking, he's deferring to my judgment despite his reservations. Again, just kind of showing more of Magneto's being grown up in a sense and changed, and and because the old Magneto might have just killed him, would have had no problem doing that. So just a little jarring moment for Professor X there.
Yeah. Jackson says, wait, twins. That happened before when I was a baby. That's better now. The court said it's okay.
Didn't you hear?
I was waiting for someone to be like, twins? I thought they were husband and wife.
Yeah, right?
Did you see them on the boat?
Yeah. Did you see her outfit she wears? Fable, any thoughts here on the big reveal, or on the twins, or on Magneto ultimately doing everything in his power not to be aggressive or violent or offensive to anybody?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the whole point of all of this, like this whole courtroom battle and everything that's happening. Yeah, it was clumsy. They did try to tie it to something that happened earlier, which is always cool, right? It's always cool to have some continuity there, not just bring them in or whatever. There's a reason behind their appearance, but it's all of this is contrived and designed to make Magneto look more appealing again to not only the world but the reader. We have to believe, because this is the guy who's going to take over for a little while, and we have to have our reservations, but we also have to have some hope that maybe Professor X was right. That maybe there is hope, and some bad guys are just bad because of the hand they were dealt. And I think this is one of Magneto's things, right? Like, is
Sure.
he truly evil? Yeah, he's done some messed up stuff in his life, but in the end, he's always wanted what Professor X wanted was his people to be safe in this crazy ass world that hates them, So,
well, and you put him, like you said, you give him a foil, right? A character who is so much worse. You may hate Magneto for all the reasons we presented, but we're going to put him together with two kids who are terrorists and whose parents were in Hydra. Like, he's going to seem a lot better than them.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's all designed to make him look all the better. And like I said, I think it's more for us. I think it's more for us that, it does matter in this universe, in this world where man hates mutants, but it's also for the reader, because we're trying to give this guy, we're trying to make him a little deeper than just your normal, whatever. And he is the first villain of the X-Men, right? Like, he is.
Oh yes,
he is the guy. So let's make him more. Let's give what Dr. Doom is to the Fantastic Four. Let's give them their Doom.
Well, and this is his rebranding moment, right?
Yeah.
This is him saying, when I called them the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, let's get rid of the word evil. They're just the Brotherhood of Mutants. We're just a brotherhood. We're together. We're together now, right?
Yeah, because even in the previous issue, those guys turn on him.
Yeah, they're the Freedom Force now. They've been rebranded too. Everybody gets a new brand. Justin, any thoughts here, buddy?
No, I think we
are we good? Did you already get a turn? Oh,
I did. Yeah.
All right, we'll keep going then. Let's get to Xavier dying. The Fenris twins decide, you know what, we're done with this. Did you know we're underwater right now? Yes, we're right near the Seine. We're just gonna blast a hole over there and flood this sucker and get out of here. And they escape. They get away. And instead, Magneto's got to basically hold his lover in his arms, because that's what Xavier is. Let's be fair. And he swims through a hole that pops them out beautifully on a lawn. And it gives Xavier the moment that Xavier's wanted all along, where he basically says, look, the walls are closing in. It's getting kind of dark. I see a tunnel of light. Like, here's what I need, brother. I need somebody to carry on my mission for me. I need someone to take over in the mansion. I need somebody to follow my dream. I need somebody to do it. And Magneto's like, if you ask me to kiss you, I'm not comfortable with that. We've talked in the past. Xavier's like, no, this is serious. Like, I don't know if I'm going to make it. I need to know that the kids will be taken care of, that somebody will do this for me. And that's when, damn it, of course, Sarah and Lilandra don't show up again. And they're like, okay, we're going to take him. We're going to take him back to the ship. We're going to get out of here. But Xavier's like, I'm not leaving until Magneto promises me. I need you to promise me. Meanwhile, one of the judges is like, this trial is a sham. I'm slapping the crud out of this British lawyer with his awful pencil mustache. This is the scandal. Like, Magneto is at least not as bad as this lawyer.
Right.
And just basically that's, the end of the trial, I suppose, is one of the judges telling the lawyer this case has been dismissed. Any thoughts here? Is it Justin's? No, it's Fable's turn. Fable, any thoughts here on how this is kind of culminating?
Well, I thought it was hilarious that they popped out of some hole in the garden. I'm sorry, I don't even know how that.
It's like a mud puddle. Like, they just popped out. Like a gopher.
Panel, look at that panel. It's
right.
The flowers and everything. This is a touching moment, man. This is Xavier, making him promise, making him, because these guys were friends at one point. They have a past together, and they both shared a dream before it got skewed in, either extreme of that dream. But they Professor X knows Magnus more than anybody. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Just
Yeah.
he knows him.
Because he probably read his mind on several occasions without asking.
I love how the Starjammers pop up and they're like, "Oh, we're here to save Xavier," and Magneto's kind of like, "Oh, thank God."
We were about to kiss. I'm so glad you got in here before that happened.
And then Xavier's like, "Oh hell no! Oh hell no! I don't care how long I'm going. You're gonna do this. Even though I'm not dying, you're gonna still do this." So I thought that was funny. And of course, bad lawyer getting smacked was funny too.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Take
So
that.
no, I thought this was just as good a moment as the courtroom scene where he gives his speech.
Where it's because it's Xavier's moment, right? Xavier has his moment for sure. Justin? Obviously, we get the Brotherhood of Evil Lawyers here. What are your thoughts on how the court case seems to wrap up?
Yeah, so like I'm glad that they get wiped away in the water, and that guy James is like, "Good riddance, I say, to bad rubbish," and then we get the classic backhand slap panel, which I love they included that, and I'm just like, yeah, seriously, can somebody punch this guy? Because like, dude, like. All this stuff's been going on, and you've just been this negative Nancy the whole time on all this stuff. And then at the very end, when even now Eric saved your life, and now you're just like, yeah, good riddance. Like, dude, come on, man. Like at this point, like you're in the wrong. You've been in the wrong for several different reasons. You almost tried to kill a girl. Like, I think somebody needs to smack this dude. So I'm glad that I wish it was a full on knockout, honestly. But the scenes here with the Professor X and Magneto are definitely heavy, and I didn't know that this is kind of how it went down. Like I always knew, he gets passed on this the mantle to teach and to run the school and all this other stuff, but I didn't realize it was like this, in this fashion, very dramatic and almost at the in about to die kind of level. So it was cool to kind of see it go down this way. Again, as Fable said, very heavy moment, very serious moment, very similar to the courthouse scenes. I was waiting for when they show Sikorsky, the robot. I was waiting for like Professor X to be like, not that damn robot again. give me the robot nanny over this.
It saved him from being a brood, if I recall. So
it
should have some perfection.
That's true.
Jackson Roy Kirk says, "We could have appeared anywhere in Paris. How convenient. We popped up right where you are, Charles." They had the coordinates. Papa, can you hear me? Yes. He's having a little moment there. I chose that Spock and Kirk meme.
That's a good one. Yeah.
So let's cut to the end here. Yes. Xavier gets taken away by the Starjammers, and Magneto is left with his own thoughts. The mutants basically are feeling like, well, we trashed a bunch of robots, but we don't really feel like we were successful in this whole process. This is kind of depressing. We dropped the ball on catching the Fenris twins. This isn't really great. And we go back to the courthouse, and the justices are like, "Look, gang, I don't know what's going on. This whole place got messed up, but I'm going to let the mutant go." And that's basically it. And Magneto's left there saying, "I gave my word, Charles. Come what may, I'll be true to it. Tear on cheek, cut to black." So Justin, final thoughts here on at least how this wraps up. We're not doing grades, but final thoughts here as it wraps up.
I think such a huge event just happened. It's tough to kind of I don't know how else this really would have been closed out otherwise. Just kind of a quick everybody go back to what you were doing. Well, Professor X is gone. That's a big highlight, right? That Rachel can't sense him or can't scan him at this moment. So definitely kind of leaving us hanging there. And the girl, the judge, like she does try to leave kind of this stamp of, even though the trial's over, this is going to speak volumes to the world more so than anything else, and how you mutants will be judged by the world. So like, it's very much just like, hey, this trial, even though the literal trial ended, it's like, it's in a way still up in the air, and how people are going to perceive this day, this moment, and how you mutants move forward is going to say a lot. So I think it closes out nicely with again the fact that so many heavy scenes have kind of happened, and then just getting that one last glimpse of Eric. We'll see. I part of me is like Cyclops versus like, well, it's can I believe him still? Like, I don't know, like, but these were heavy moments. He seems to have really turned. So you hope to, this definitely makes me want to read the next issue. So,
well, that's good because we will be doing that. That is important. Fable. Any thoughts on how this wraps up these last few moments here as we get the culmination of 200?
Yeah, no, I agree. I pretty much what Justin said. I think we leave the X-Men in a place where it's like, no matter what they've done, I don't feel like they've gotten any further in their cause, right? To get people on their side, which is reflected in what Cyclops says here at the end, I think the lady saying what she said is a heavy thing. Also, like, this trial is over kind of thing, but what you do matters from this point on. Yeah. Like, don't give us another reason, right? Kind of thing. And also, like you said, Xavier's gone. What's going to happen with Xavier, right? Like, is he going to die? What lies ahead for him? And the X-Men without him, and with Magneto coming in, their greatest enemy, to come in and become their leader. So definitely leaves me wanting to read the next issue 100%. I think it's effective at that.
100%. Yeah, totally agree. Great comments going on here in the chat. Trial was interrupted, so he just goes free. It's no harm, no foul. No harm, no foul.
Lots of harm, but no foul.
Yeah. So let's get to some final scores here, gentlemen. Let's grade this book. 2 hours in. Sorry, the double-sized issue was legitimately double-sized. Yes. Final grades, we're basically giving usually a CGC graded scale here to kind of get a sense of how we felt about the book, but no rules. Well, the judge will throw this all out and you can kind of do it the way you feel. Justin, final grade.
Yeah, so I loved this issue. I thought it was obviously just so powerful. Everything we covered, everything we talked about from a character standpoint with Magneto to the representation of all mutants as a whole, and just everything going on in the world right now. This gets more and more political, more and more real, and the heaviness or the seriousness, that level of seriousness increases. It's not just, again, this is why another reason I like X-Men so much. It's just like there's so much more to it than just good guy, bad guy, superhero, not, or whatever. So all the different layers that we covered, this was a really, really special issue. And again, one that leads us to a new chapter. That's essentially what this is we're closing out a chapter, we're going into 100%. Something else, and it's so significant in that regard. Yes, some little hiccups that I had pointed out with the Fenris twins, kind of the letdown, and has nothing to do with this issue per se, just the way it was built up, and then having that be that. You guys pointed out kind of the lack of the plainness of some of the robots and all that stuff, which I agree with. But like all that aside, just more character building, the stuff with Rachel, the stuff with Kitty, and obviously Magneto and Professor X. I'm going to go ahead and put this still up there. Very similar to last week. I'm going to aim for a 9.6 with this book because it just hits so much. The cover is iconic. This is a book that any X-Men fan should read. That should be well aware of. I'm a huge fan, and like I'm just getting to this now, and I'm just like, man, this is crazy. Like it's just like crazy. So there's not one person I think that would just skim through this and be like, oh I'm never going to read that again. Let me go on to my, to the next X-Men issue or whatever. Like this might be like an annual read, kind of thing.
Maybe when they saw the baby part, but I get it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You got to get past that part, and you got to get past the Fenris twins making out with each other, all this stuff. But other than all that, no, it's a high grade, definitely a high grade.
How about you, Bobby? How would you grade this book?
Fable.
Sorry, Fable. Oh my gosh, sorry. I was reading Bobby's comment in the chat. Bobby was dropping his 9.8. Sorry.
9.8.
Yeah, Fable. How would you grade this one?
I'll give it a 9.4. I think it's a pivotal issue, just like Justin said. I think it sets up, like Justin said, another era, a new arc, while also weaving in so many different things, like, from the X-Men coming back from what they came back from in other issues, from Magneto and his trial, what he's dealing with. The Fenris twins, they kind of sucked in this issue, but they're also not just, they have a purpose as well, being Von Strucker's kids, dealing with Magneto and his past, because even Magneto says, oh, yet again, something from my past coming back to haunt me. So it's very important. It's not just some throwaway thing. To the damn Starjammers, to Madeline, you know what I mean? Just so much going on in this issue. So many character moments that will reverberate towards the future. Great cover, also iconic, classic cover. The only thing that I ding against it is the awful coloring of this book. JR is not too egregious in this one. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of JR, but like the previous issue, 199, there's some like garbage in there. I'm like, oh my God.
He was saving time so that he could do the double issue.
I remember even as a kid, I used to be like, they need a better artist for this damn book. It's so good. But at the same time, not to knock the man too much, his art is nostalgic. He's sort of like a Bagley for me, right? I don't think Bagley's the greatest artist in the world either, but there's just something of when I go back to those 90s Bagley issues that I'm like, okay, I'm home. I'm home. I know this stuff pretty good. But yeah, the coloring just lets it down so hard, man. It deserved a little better on that front, especially like I said, after coming off of that Barry Windsor Smith issue.
Oh yeah, 198, man.
I mean, that was some great stuff.
For sure.
But yeah, no, a 9.4. I think it nailed it, although it was a little contrived. It nailed it, and I think it is a classic issue.
Well said. You guys are making great points, and the chat's always doing their job. We got 9.4s, 8.5s, some 9.8s from Adam and from Bobby. Although this is a 9.8 with a question mark.
I like it though.
9.8.
I like Bobby has two different descriptions of his white pages.
Yes.
One of them is the French police white glove,
and then the white hair,
and then the baby Magneto white hair. I love it.
Very good. So I would say, like, the first time I read this, it was probably my favorite X-Men book at the like it ranked really high for me. It was a 9.8. It was a big. I will say, having seen the X-Men 97 episode, it's one of my favorites. It's a really phenomenal episode, and it made me realize that they fixed a lot of the issues that I think Magneto's character went through in this, and that Xavier and the Fenris twins did. So for me, like, it pointed out some of the flaws that on the reread I would probably put this more in a 9.4 range, but it's still an absolutely entertaining book, and I don't read
high grade.
Yeah, I don't read X-Men strictly for the antagonists, but I do read it for the villains. And Magneto gets to shine here. He gets so much time and so much value here, and such an amazing outfit. It's really just, it's absolutely fantastic. So for that, I'm willing to forgive it sloppy henchmen and sort of clunky, reveals for the Fenris twins, that kind of stuff I can let go. And to the point I think we've all made tonight, this is a superior JR issue. I think he's definitely got some weaker issues in this one. He does come with his A game, and I do think his worst tendencies are curbed here. So yeah, this would end up being a 9.4 for me in the end.
Amazing.
Thank you for those of you in the chat doing your doing your stuff. I appreciate it. You guys are on fire. It's hilarious to see this stuff going on. But let's get to the new segment. We've got our MVP. We're trying to choose somebody that we feel like was the most valuable part of this issue. Justin, I'll throw it to you first. Who would you choose as the MVP for tonight? I think it's pretty obvious.
Probably, yeah, pretty clear, pretty straightforward, pretty obvious. My boy Doug. If it wasn't for Doug, they would all be looked at like, who are these Americans?
He gets 2 panels.
Yeah,
in a double-sized issue.
Clutch is clutch. You know what I'm saying? Clutch is clutch. No, I did genuinely love that moment for him, and again, especially because in the last issue, like he really was struggling with this. Like
it's true.
The last 2 issues, like he was beating himself up. He didn't feel special. He didn't feel strong in any way that everybody else had these physical powers. I like that. Chris kind of threw that in there as like, no, like, hey, like you help. You helped. It's good. No, on a real note, I mean, I have to. It's actually hard because Magneto, as much as this is such a significant Magneto book, I also think of Rachel. I do think of Rachel. Not just for,
good call.
Like what she did, and also even just what she had to go through. Like her, there's just a lot with her in this. I think it's a blend between the two of them. If I had to pick an MVP, so I'm going to go with both of them. And
sure. How about you, Fable? I know it's called The Trial of Magneto. He's on the cover. He gets a lot of time. It's hard not to pick Magneto, but do you feel like there's anybody that comes close?
Yeah, I agree with Justin 100%. Rachel. I mentioned her several times tonight about how important she is to this group. And you take her out of the equation, you got a dead Cyclops and you got a dead.
It's not a deal breaker.
JP would like the sound of that. He likes
no, she came through for the team. She went against her, something she swore she would never do. She did it for her team. She is trying her hardest to make up for the things she did in her past. And I think at least in this issue and the issue before that I read, she is definitely a valuable part of this team.
Oh yeah.
When it comes to that psychic element, right? You used to have Charles Xavier, you used to have Jean Grey. You don't have neither of them. She's filling that void quite well. So, I would give her MVP 100%.
Sure. Some great comments happening in the chat. Bobby's like, "We baby Magneto is the MVP." There you go. That's fair. It's hard to say no to that. Jackson Roy Kirk. Jackson Roy Kirk's like, it's Loki. Like, this could have been a boring issue with them in the mansion, and the baby gets born, and everybody's there, and it's all family and love. But no, Magneto dropped them in Paris. But how about this? Right back at you, Jackson. If that had happened, would the book end any differently? Doesn't Magneto still stop the Fenris twins the same way?
Right.
Doesn't Xavier still jump in between them and separate them? Doesn't it all end the same way, whether the mutants are there or not? The only difference is, I guess, maybe Paris gets messed up more civilians die because they're not stopping them. But like, for me, the story ends the same way, either way, wherever Loki puts them.
It's true.
It's kind of like, does Indiana Jones actually change the plot of Raiders of the Lost Ark, right? That's that great storyline. Indiana Jones, the story ends the same way, whether Indy goes there, gets shot, and does all the stuff he does. They still open the Ark on the little island and they all die. Like, there's no difference, right? Doesn't change it. Something to think about. Plant that seed. No, Bobby, get the F out of here. Just walk away. Lasso says Ms. Marvel. Bobby, always doing it. I'm with you. It's Magneto. I'm not gonna be able to pick anybody else. It is a Magneto powerhouse issue. It's a Magneto powerhouse episode in the show. You know, that's why we paid our entry fee. That's why we bought our book. We looked at that cover. We saw what it was. We knew the previous issue. And we were like, sign me up, double issue. I'm here for it. So, and it delivers, right? It delivers on that front. And that's what it's all about. For me,
Yep.
So that's why John's here. And I'm very happy.
Strongest writing was in the Magneto parts, and it reminds you of why he's so damn good and why so many people have become fans of these. Anybody who's read this run, there's a reason why we hold that man in high regard.
Right. And I think it's on these pages here. This is a bold move to take a villain, make him a sympathetic character, and then put him in charge. He's in charge of the New Mutants. He's in charge of the X team. It's a big, bold move.
Yep.
All right, well, let's get into a little bit of the finances before we get out of here tonight. A 9.8 of this issue can run you about $90. There's about 312 of them. This is the original trial of Magneto, and he becomes the head of the school, and the Von Strucker twins are revealed to be in charge of the Fenris organization. Also, he gets a sweet fashion trend for courtroom attire. Any thoughts here on the money, gentlemen? Would you want this book slabbed? Would this be a book that would be something you'd hang on the wall behind you in a 9.8? Would you be proud of that?
I would. I always want to have it raw to read, but I'm surprised the 9.8. And to me, people are all about the keys and significances of issues. This is significant. This is a significant book. To see it in a 9.8 for a fair market value of $90, I was surprised because we've covered issues prior to this just within this season that were over $100 that I don't think match the significance of this issue. Plus the cover is one of the best ones that we've had so far this season. So I'm kind of doubly surprised that's in a way I feel like I'm losing money if I found that in the wild at $90 as a CGC 9.8. I feel like I'd have to buy it. I feel like, it's so cheap in how I would hold it to the regard that it is. So, but yeah, this is also just a raw book all day.
Yes,
I feel
for sure.
Mixed feelings.
Yeah. Fable, any thoughts on the slab versus the raw? You and I think both have the raw copies of this book. So
I'm not a slab guy myself, but I am in agreement that this seems a little cheap. A 9.6 is $36.
Yeah,
isn't that what it costs to slab the damn book?
Yeah. Basically, and to ship it to CGC and back, and
I would be very proud to own this book. I think that, like I said, just on the cover alone, this is one of those. This is one of those. One of the more memorable, iconic Uncanny X-Men book. If you're a fan of this series, of this era, this run, you want this book.
For sure. I'm considering getting a 9.8. It's been on my upgrade list for a while. I love the two raw. I got a direct and a newsstand raw, and they're in incredible shape. I don't feel like they're low grade at all. But there's always that do I want this? It's one of those nostalgic kid books. So I could understand at that price point, especially if you snipe something, in an auction and get under that 90, all day. I'll take it.
Agreed.
And I have this figgy too.
Do you?
You do?
Nice. I have this.
How is it not in your hand right now? I'm closing this down. I'm going to put I'll put you on the big screen. I need a copy of that. That's what I need.
That's cool.
For sure.
X-Men 97 ones. Yeah, it came out with it.
Oh, did they? Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, now I got something to look forward to.
I can't go down that rabbit hole, Fable. I can't do it. Start buying action figures. My wife will kill me.
It's another thing, right?
Yeah.
We've got only 9 or 10 people left in the chat who stuck through 2 hours and 12 minutes of this double issue.
We appreciate y'all.
We are doing trivia now, gang, so you can be getting onto the wheel to win. We've got 4 trivia questions about issue 1. Annual number 9 over from Justin's channel from a week ago. We're looking for the 2 correct answers, and then Fable's going to pick his most entertaining answer, the one he likes the most. So you guys who hung around to the end, we appreciate you. We're gonna keep. I'm gonna go first. I never go first on my own channel. I'm gonna go first.
Wow,
let's go.
I'm throwing things off.
It's a renegade night. You can't stop me. Court is
Fenris
not.
Twin you.
Yeah. Court is adjourned. So my question has to do with the issue we read last week, of course, annual number 9. We discussed how the cover is an homage to what comic? What is the comic an homage for? Issue 9, X-Men Annual 9 is an homage to what book?
Good question.
Can
By
you
the way,
remember? I want the full thing. I don't want no abbreviations. I don't want random letters. I don't want like KLM4. Like, get out of here with this. I want an actual comic title.
by the way, as people are writing answers, I just wanted to mention, if you own the omnibus, I didn't realize this. I just turned the page, but if you own the omnibus, there is a section here. And John, I don't know if you read this.
Oh yeah, no,
I didn't read this. I won't read it here. You guys can read it on your own. I'm gonna read it on my own. I didn't even read it, but it just says "A Lost Soul" by Chris Claremont, and the beginning of it says, "To me, this is Rachel's story," and and it goes into this whole thing. So very interesting. It was written in 2020.
Nice. I'll have to read. I read the raw copy. I didn't even actually read it from my omnibus, so that makes me want to go and open the Omni.
Yeah. So I just noticed it. Yeah, so check it out.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So the correct answer is Journey into Mystery 83, the first appearance of Thor. So that means Chet and Lasso, I give you points, but here's the thing. I'm going to also give a point to Bobby. So let me do those two first, because technically Bobby was first when he said Journey into Mystery, first appearance of Thor. He didn't actually write the issue number. Yeah, I didn't claim you needed the issue number. I just wanted it spelled out. So I'm going to do 3. I've been drinking, so I'm giving 3 points. Fable. JP says it's an homage to Debbie Does Dallas. That's what he's saying. He's saying that this cover is an homage to this wonderful film from the 70s. Bobby just does cheers. He just says cheers. That's all he's got. But that's the only comedy answer I got. So either we give him a point or we just walk, we give nothing. Or we say JP's out because he's been such a Cyclops hater tonight. You can decide how you feel about it.
Yeah, it does weigh on him a little bit.
Lasso says it's an homage to Fable and his amazing friends.
There you go. Right.
Okay, all right. Thank you. I'll give it to JP. It's okay.
All right,
okay. JP. We all have somebody that we don't like. I understand.
Fable's being the bigger man here.
Yeah. I'm being. Magneto taught me something.
You are. You're not letting us hit somebody in the head with a rock.
Yeah, and to wear capes to court.
I'm gonna next time I'm on jury duty. I'm just gonna see what I'm gonna wear that exact outfit.
That'll get you out of jury duty. That's
right.
For sure.
That guy's insane. Do not put that guy on the
court. You're fighting the ticket. Wear the cape.
Yeah.
All right, Justin. Time for your first question, my man.
Okay, my first question is, how does Cyclops plan to get the team to Asgard? So last issue, Annual 9, right off the bat, the team figures out this dream. It's not just a dream. Kitty's mind is being projected as to where the rest of the team is. And so they're like, we got to get to Asgard. How are we going to get there? Cyclops is like, I got a plan. This is what we're going to do. What is it? What is it that he uses to get to Asgard? And this is a little bit of a throwback for folks who've been tuning in to the show since season 1, or maybe season 2, to season 1 actually, because this was 1979 that this was first referenced.
Jackson says what he does is he just clicks his heels. He does the Wizard of Oz move, the Dorothy move. Bobby says he calls an Uber. That's what you do. You just call the Uber. Now, there's enough correct answers. I'm going to highlight one.
Okay.
Magic Lasso has it, in my opinion, perfectly.
Yeah.
However, Bobby says throws lightning bolts, and then Adam says the thunderbolts from the previous annual, and then we've got Empress saying Archon's lightning bolts. So, although he says lightning bolts.
I don't know what
it's all right. He's not Chet, so it's it's fine.
Yeah. So I did say in my text to you, I wrote using lightning bolts that were created by Archon, the Imperion. So I'm fine with the first two because they were lightning bolts.
So this Ryan
one and Bobby.
Okay.
And this is the issue that we're referring to, or that
let me blow that up.
So technically,
Chet's
Adam,
not
so
the last
right annual, now. But this is annual 3 back from 1979. And Chet, you had commented saying, hey, those lightning bolts in this issue are going to play a big role down the road. And here we are, Chet. So glad you pointed that out.
All that time later.
Yeah. Good old Archon.
Lasso says it's from Diana Ross's Eaten Alive vinyl album. All right. Bobby says, I got these mushrooms.
I like that.
JP says he assumes his giant ego makes him a god, so he can just appear there. Candace with the Harry Potter reference using flu powder.
Nice.
My answer was verbatim. Okay. Okay. Thunderbolts and lightning, very, very frightening. Adam. Sorry, I had to say. Look, Adam, I gave you that. I did this.
Yeah.
And I spelled it correctly. You did, Chet, but you were third in the queue or fourth in the queue.
You gotta be quicker than that.
I know you spent a little time running through the spell check. Fable, do you have a favorite laughable answer there?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Bobby, and I got these mushrooms because I could imagine how are we gonna get to Asgard? Dude,
Led Zeppelin kicks on.
I got these mushrooms. Yeah. They come from the land of the ice and snow. And
They're all like, all right, mushrooms.
Yeah. Everybody gets a Pegasus.
Oh, God.
All right. My final question. I am asking for spelling. So here's the reality. It's possible nobody gets this answer right. It's possible. I even typed the spelling perfectly to Justin. Not only how to spell it, but like I stacked the words perfectly when I sent it to Justin. So I'm asking for perfect spelling. My question is, what is the words? What is the lettering? What is the onomatopoeia that we see on the page when Storm picks up the hammer and becomes the goddess of thunder? What are the words on the page? So somebody, maybe you get it right, maybe you copy and paste, maybe somebody nails this. I want to see. Firstly, spell check is going to screw you on this. If you try typing this, it's going to change it to 100 other things. You got to watch it, typing it in. I'm just telling you.
So okay, I see it. Yeah. I see what it says. Okay, I got it.
Fable's like, I found it. Don't worry, I texted it earlier.
Yeah, you guys are gonna have a hard time with this.
JP says it's supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Yeah,
That's what it says on the page. That's what it says. And Bobby says it says, but damn.
that was one of my favorites tonight.
But we do have two correct answers. It's Waboom, Bada Boom. So it's Magic Lasso and Matt from Impressed Comics. Waboom, Bada Boom.
Just like Fifth Element, like I said.
Yeah, right?
Bada
bing, bada boom. Yeah, a big bada boom.
Big boom.
Jackson says it's a va-va-voom, or at least it should have been. We got Sleepy Reader. What's going on? Damien, he says, hello, hey, howdy. I don't think that's what it said on the page, though, when she transformed.
Hello.
It said 6'7", 6'7".
No, don't do that, please.
Matt says, pretty sure it said, watch John's drop on the floor.
100%.
It said, hey, Rube. All right. We got some comedy answers. Fable, anyone that tickles the fancy for you?
Yeah, I'm definitely going with Impressed Comics there, and they're pretty sure it said watch John's jaw drop on the floor. Because
it's accurate. I'm still trying to get an action figure of this. There's gotta be a Storm Goddess of Thunder action figure.
What?
But now I've got to get the Magneto Trial of Magneto action figure too. So Justin, final question of the night, my friend.
Yeah. My final question is, what shape does Warlock take when he and Doug fly in to save the team around the time Wolverine gets bit by the green dragon and gets poisoned? If you guys recall, there was a big battle. There were some werewolves around. There was a green dragon that showed up, had like a rider on top of him. And as this battle's happening, Wolverine gets bit. Warlock comes flying in with Dougie, MVP Doug.
Jackson says, if it's inflatable, John, it's not an action figure. Oh, goodness gracious. All right. I'm assuming these are all correct answers, Justin. Do you feel like you need more data? That's
I see
what Star Trek.
what you did there. What do you think, John? Is that all right? You think?
I think it's close enough. I feel.
Yeah.
Like.
I mean, that's really the rent-a-car.
I love that Lasso was able to enter it before the start line, and again after the start line, before anybody but Adam could surpass him.
He's quick. Okay, yeah, let's go with the first two there. So Adam and Ryan. Yeah, it was the USS Enterprise. It just comes flying in. It was a really cool reference.
It was cool.
I mean, that amongst a lot of things that we saw in that last issue of all the different pop culture references.
For sure.
Was cool. So.
But no, you're wrong. It's not the Enterprise. It was Magnum PI's Ferrari. That's what it was. Says JP. It was the Millennium Falcon. It was a different sci-fi.
I like it, Bobby. I like it.
It was the Love Boat.
There you go.
Exciting and new. It was Wolverine's sandwich.
John's doing a lot of singing here tonight.
Yeah, it was. Well, I've been drinking.
Is John drinking tonight? Oh, he's drinking.
Definitely. It was the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile.
Nice.
Oh, somebody other than Lasso with a Diana Ross comment. It's the Diana Ross tour bus. It was the uninvisible jet. I see what you did there, buddy. Any favorites there, Fable? One last gift you're going to give out to the chat tonight?
Well, first of all, now I have to read this issue because,
dude, you have to.
Had I not known that if the Enterprise, if it wasn't the Enterprise,
it is,
and that was the answer, I would have given the point to that. Like, it's the Enterprise, that's hilarious. But it is the Enterprise, so I'm like, actually, I gotta read
this. it's almost a splash page because it's like across.
It's huge,
it's like it's tiny and then it gets really big and
dude,
sort of
a Warlock Enterprise. Come on,
but it's sadly it's just the one page, but it's a
that's
really
all you gotta
cool
say,
page.
dude. That's all
we gotta read. You gotta read that issue.
We're reading it tomorrow for sure.
There it is.
Let me see. I'm gonna go with Adam Make Stuff Up, the Love Boat, because I love that. It's like
nice. Fable, do you need to borrow a copy? Because I have a copy.
Let's do this. Let's do this.
You
want it? You want the big screen? Now we're doing the big screen.
Yeah, I went and did it.
Buckets.
Yeah, I went and did a thing.
These
are. Dude, is there ever a day where you're going to offer me an Uncanny X-Men issue and I'm going to say no?
Yeah, this book we gave on average across the three people that voted, we gave this a 9.8 read. That good.
Got a very high score.
It's better than tonight's read. Like that's how good this issue was. So that's why I bought so many. I want to give them away. I'm going to give them away during our giveaway. So for those who've been with us,
and shout out to Chet, who earlier in the chat said that if he found one of his issue 200s, he'd send it my way. Nice. Appreciate that, Chet, man. Thank you so much.
That's awesome, man.
It's one of the runs, sadly, that when I started collecting comic books. Because I always remember Uncanny being in the dollar bin or the quarter bin. Sure. Those issues were not sought after for whatever reason.
The Ramita era, not.
Yeah.
loved.
Well, I mean, just besides Giant Size and maybe the first, 90 to 100 or whatever. You know what I mean? After like 130, 140, it wasn't that hard to get any of those issues. And then when I started collecting again, I started looking in those bins. $20, $15, $35, $15, $20. I'm like, it's gonna cost me like $2,000 to get this run, which I just couldn't afford at that time. So, yeah man, anybody who has extra Uncannies, you can definitely send it my way.
Bobby, sorry, Fable. I did it twice now. I did it twice. Oh my gosh,
he's been drinking Fable. Forgive my co-host here.
Seriously, brother, thank you for joining us for tonight. This was so much fun, man.
I appreciate you.
Not only just a really fun book, but like you always bring a ton of knowledge. You have a ton of love for these characters and these books, and it's just always a pleasure to do a deep dive in a comic like this with you, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I have this thing where no matter where I go, it's like the show always ends up being longer than what it usually is.
It's definitely my fault. Tonight, 2.5 hours. 2.5
I think this
hours
is a new record. 228 is a new record. I
for
think.
me on a single issue. Yeah.
I think you should rewind to the last one I was on to see how long that was, because it might be long too. But leave it to me to pick the double size issue, right? Like,
Yep.
So
it deserves it. You know, it deserves
Dude,
Yeah.
I am so very proud of you guys. You have no idea. Like, I knew both of you probably when you were starting on your YouTube journeys, and when you decided to get together and make this show, and man, you're one of the most consistent duo YouTube comic book content creators out there, still killing it. Your audience is growing every episode. I see, you have this great following here. Bobby will not miss an episode of this show. Candace, Chet, you know what I mean?
Dedication.
And everybody else, JP, Magic Lasso. I always see them in here, and then I see new faces and stuff like that. You guys are absolutely killing them. It is an honor, I tell you, gentlemen, to be on this show anytime.
Oh,
Appreciate you, brother. Well said. Station
Too much.
brother.
That's too kind, my man.
Yeah, man.
And of course, the Fable One Collection down links are down below. Instagram, YouTube's, it's all down there. I'm over there, hopefully soon, talking movies again. They're always running through great films over there. So yeah, definitely make sure you hit those links. 2 weeks from tonight, we're over on his channel, and JP is claiming we'll get deep into the Cyclops weeds with issue 201, and finally a normal sized issue that we'll only spend a couple of hours on.
Another baby.
Yeah, baby. There's little baby cable right there for you guys. So yeah, be there or be square. We'll be back over there on No Good Comics, like Justin's channel, in 2 weeks. I'm gonna get out of here before I crash into a wall. I appreciate everybody hanging with us, and we'll catch you guys all again later.
Station.